Cole. Batting second, the third baseman, number 17, Brady Helms. Batting third in center field, number 2, Caden Romans. Batting fourth, the left fielder, number 1, Jackson Slater. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 15, Brady Walters. Batting sixth is the designated hitter, number 12, Caden Bush. The pitcher this afternoon is number 34, Hunter Weinferter. Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 11, Bowden Brandner. Batting eighth, the second baseman, number 3, Easton Keekler. And batting ninth, the catcher, number 40, Nolan Medla. Now, here's the starting lineup for the Oconomowoc Raccoons. Leading off at second base, number 9, Danny Floor. Batting second, the third baseman, number 10, Cooper Shaketon. Batting third, the first baseman, number 18, Jake Kopfer. Batting fourth, in right field, number 27, Colin O'Leary. Batting fifth and catching, number 6, Kason Nelson. Batting sixth is the designated hitter, number 3, Alex Herzog. The pitcher is number 23, Chase Doyle. Batting seventh in left field, number 5, Bennett Osborne. Batting eighth, the shortstop, number 19, Jonathan Seeger. And batting ninth in center field, number 4, Max Basso. Assistant coaches for Oconomowoc are Mike Folsom, Arno Perkinwitz, Tom Roman, and our head coach in his 4th season is Vinny Mancuso. At this time, we ask all who are able to please rise and remove your hats as we honor America and those defending our freedom with the playing of our national anthem. We urge you to join in singing.
Play ball!
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and WIAA baseball fans, live here on Zaleski Sports for some really good non-conference baseball action here live on Zaleski Sports. Alongside Matt Peck, I'm Elijah Vanksalata, live here on this Friday afternoon, a pretty nice Friday afternoon here between the Hartford Orioles taking on the Oconomowoc Raccoons. Glad you guys could be with us here today. And a nice day from Wisconsin Brewing Company Park, home of the Wisconsin.coms, the Oconomowoc.com, LakeCountry.coms. Oh, geez. I'm all over the place with that right now. So just getting set to start over way here, and we are going to introduce first the outfield alignment for the Oconomowoc Raccoons. Almost said the Waterford now. I'm all over the place. So in the outfield, 9 through 7, we're going to go a little bit backwards, starting in right to left. O'Leary in right. In center field, it's Basso. In left field, it's Osborne. At third base, it's Shafkin. At shortstop, Seeger. Second base is Floor. At first base is Kopfer. Catching, pushing the buttons behind the plate is Nelson, and the starting pitcher today is Doyle. Matt Peck, give us a little synopsis, if you can, once you get it up, on the starting pitcher Doyle for, unless you need his first name too.
That would help, but I can find it.
While he's getting on that, I will go over the starting lineup hitting for the Hartford Orioles. Leading off, Aiden Kolb, batting second, Brady Helms, Caden Romans batting third, Jackson Slater fourth, fifth, Brady Walters, sixth, Caden Bush, seventh, Bowden Brender, eighth, Easton Kiekler, and batting ninth, Nolan Medla, the catcher.
So I got 78 fastball max on Chase Doyle. It'll be 68 to 70 slider, curveball 66 to 67. And those are the main pitches that he throws.
First pitch is fouled off to the back screen. Aiden Kolb leading off, like I said, once again. 67 degrees on the dot as we have first pitch today. Partly cloudy skies. It's going to get a little bit chillier with the cold front coming through. A 1-1 count early on Kolb.
You were mentioning something before the game, how Hartford likes to attack the first pitch a lot. You saw a lot of times last Saturday against Hudson. Really
good test. Kolb's going to ground this one to floor at second base. Bobbled it for a second. A fielded over to first to Kopfer for out number one, and that's how we get started on the day. Yeah, we talked about, you were just mentioning it, Hartford, they were slugging it off, right? Their first game against, they actually came back against Whitnall early on in that prep baseball showcase, and then later on that night, they almost defeated the number one team in the state in Hudson. They were up 5-3 at one point. Couple mistakes later in that game and a home run given up to arguably one of the state's best players in Jace Matazinski. Give up a home run at that Milkman Stadium. So a couple big league, or I guess minor league type stadiums that Hartford gets to play in the last week.
Yeah, and Brady Helms not the hitter, a Penn State commit. So going D1, one of the, I think I did research in the past, one of three kids, players I should say, to commit to Penn State from Wisconsin. You got Ethan Bauerschmidt over Tremper, and there was one more that I got to remember. But yeah, so Brady Helms, I believe, was only a junior as well. So
he had a sac fly in their big win against Menominee Falls earlier this week. That's all he had, no hits, just a sacrifice fly, and went 0-3 in his at-bats. He's kind of going through a little bit of a slump right now. Didn't have a really big game against Hudson as well, even though Hartford was really playing well, hitting the ball early on. He's looking to make his impact known now. That one spiked in the dirt, didn't even touch home plate, and ooh, little trip on the mound by Doyle right there. The starting pitcher once again, Chase Doyle for the Oconomowoc Raccoons.
Yeah, there were a lot of games early on where Brady Helms was getting 2 to 3 hits. I mean, it was impressive. You know, he's, I think, been in that second spot for the majority of the season in this lineup for Hartford.
Second spot's always a big one, right?
Yeah.
2-2 pitch. Line to right field, and that will be caught in a jump. A Mario jump for O'Leary in right field for out number 2. That one was lined very fast. Kind of was a little weird right there. You kind of did, you know, like in Mario when you do like the level up thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And you like get the coins or whatever. That's kind of what O'Leary did in right field when he caught that one. So 2 outs gone by, only 8 pitches thrown for Chase Doyle.
Friends, you're watching the game. Share this out with family and friends.
First pitch taken low to Caden Romans at the plate. Two outs gone by. Doyle, the delivery is low and out of the glove of the catcher, Nelson.
Yeah, it was a nice catch out there by the right fielder. He kind of had a jump for that one. When Brady Helms, just say, lined it to right, he kind of looked up last minute and jumped for it. Otherwise, you know, that gets over his head, potentially probably a triple.
This one's going to be lined to the gap, and it'll fall fast for a base hit. He's going to go to second base. They're going to throw it, and it's not going to be in time. It's a 2-out double for Caden Romans. That one died fast in between Basso and O'Leary, and it'll be a 2-out double for Mr. Caden Romans in the first hit of our ball game from Wisconsin Brewing Company Park.
Number 1, Jackson Slater.
Now Jackson Slater will come up to the bat. When I saw him last weekend, he had a couple loud hits off the bat. I think he had at least one. Believe me, I mean, this Hartford team, 6-4 is their record coming into this one. Oconomowoc coming in 3-2, but this is a team that's not. Yeah. Both these teams, I should say. I mean, Oconomowoc's only played 5 games, and Hartford's played almost double their amount of games already. But a couple of cancellations with the weather or postponements. But Oconomowoc, they've bared through the weather so far this season. Same thing with Hartford.
And head coach Steve Oleszko told us that they lost all games by a total of 5 runs.
Yeah, that's a really good accomplishment. He was also telling us that they have a really young group this year, right?
Yeah.
Especially, he told, what was it, young pitching staff?
Yeah, it was the pitching staff that he mainly he highlighted that was very young. He goes
in our pregame talk.
He likes where they're heading, especially as we get later in the season.
He's had a lot of great challenges earlier. They already defeated Arrowhead early on this year, 3-2. Arrowhead off to a slow start. They are under 500 with their record right now, right?
And they're hosting a tough Wisconsin Lutheran team who we saw on Wednesday. You know, fell to New Berlin Eisenhower, but still beat New Berlin Eisenhower the exact day before. A lot of those series, there are 2 games you notice there's a lot of splits. It's hard to beat a team 2 days in a row.
This one's going to be grounded over foul to the left field side. Count is still 0-2 right now. Doyle doing pretty well so far. 13 pitches now. Jackson Slater will come up to he is already at the plate, I should say. Slater gonna have to go in a little control mode here. 0-2 pitch. The runner goes and the swing and a miss for a strikeout. Gonna secure it over to Kopfer at first. In a 2-out double, that's all in the top of the first. We head to the bottom of the first inning where Oconomowoc comes up to bat right here on Zaleski Sports.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Nasonville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Fear, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Keflatiri, Kefla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
Hey, you're tuned in to Better Halves.
Skip, I love my hometown, and I want a health plan that feels the same way. So, what are your favorite local date spots?
Oh, yeah, I know like all the date spots in Eau Claire.
Ooh.
Jane, I'm Steve from Security. I've lived here in Wisconsin my whole life, and that means I understand your health coverage needs better.
By the way, Doug, it's Eau Claire. I have a dozen Eclairs in my dressing room.
We are back here for the bottom of the first inning. First, the hitting lineups for the Oconomowoc Raccoons. Once again, leading off Danny Floor. Batting second is Cooper Shafkin. Batting third is the first baseman Jacob Kopfer. Batting fourth and cleanup, number 27, Colin O'Leary. Batting fifth, number 2, Trey Arndorfer. Or pardon me. That's number 6. I looked at the position wrong there. That's Kason Nelson batting fifth. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 3, Alex Herzog. Batting seventh, the second baseman, Bennett Osborne. Or third baseman, I should say. Batting eighth, number 19, Jonathan Seeger. And batting ninth to round it out for Oconomowoc is number 4, Max Basso. And the starting pitcher on the mound for the Hartford Orioles is number 34, Hunter Weinferter. Matt Peck, give us a little synopsis on him now, if you could get him up soon. Take your time, though. While he reads that, I will give the alignment in the outfield for the Hartford Orioles. In left field, Jackson Slater. In center, it's Caden Romans. In right, Bowden Bradner. And in the infield, it's Aiden Cole, Brady Helms, Brady Walters, Easton Kiekler. And behind the plate, pushing buttons for Weinfurther is Nolan Medla behind the plate. So we get started here in the bottom of the first inning. Weinfurther. The lefty on the mound, facing up against Danny Floor to start us off. First pitch, down low for a strike.
Some stats on Weinfurter, 71 fastball max. This is according to Prep Baseball Wisconsin. And then the changeup is 63 to 65 miles per hour. And the velo range is 70 to 71. So you're going to expect to see Weinfurter sitting around 70, 71 miles per hour in this pitching performance today.
Weinfurter grounds it to the first baseman, Walters. It's going to be a routine play for out number 1. Coming up to bat is the third baseman, Shafkin. Shafkin, his last game against Waukesha West. They came in a really good game, 10-1 win their last time out. Shafkin pitched the last game and had two hits and 3 walks. And he also pitched 3 innings, 2 hits, giving up 1 run, no earned, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts thrown. So he did a little bit of both last game. And today his role is going to be the third baseman. He's going to line the first pitch foul.
It's funny because we were talking with both coaches before the game about how tough their conferences are. You know, we talked with head coach of Oconomowoc about, you know, the Classic 8 and how tough you had Muskego, Arrowhead, and then all down the Classic 8. And then here on the North Shore, we talked with Hartford's head coach, you know, about, you know, Slinger, Whitefish Bay, all those tough teams.
So there's a really good conversation with Coach Vince Mancuso of Oconomowoc and Steve Oleshko of Hartford. Both really great coaches. I really love getting to talk to them as well. I haven't really got to talk to that many coaches yet this year due to us not being able to do those games. This one's popped up high in the air to deep center field. That is sky high. And all the way to the warning track, making the play is Romans right in the sun. But that ball was all the way up there, Matt Peck.
Yeah, that one tracked up there. And in the minor league stadium, you know, those fences are a little bit further. I should say American Association Stadium. They're not really a minor league affiliate of anybody, but still amateur, kind of that type of baseball. But still, the fences are far here, you know.
Don't MLB affiliate players still, or like players
sometimes
go from this league to the MLB
yeah,
sometimes?
But you don't get called up from here to the MLB. You become like a free agent because the Lake Country Doghounds aren't affiliated with any MLB
They
team.
could display your talent through this league,
Yes,
though, right?
yes.
Or like just like try to get scouts probably come to these types of games for the. I mean, even these high school games as well, but the American Association baseball games. The first pitch is taking it inside and way out of play. Batting right now for the Oconomowoc Raccoons is number 18, Jacob Kopfer. Kopfer playing first today. Pretty good start so far for Weinfurter, who's only thrown about 6 pitches. Both pitchers off to a good start. Weinfurter deals it into Kopfer for a strike. At 77 miles per hour, they got the pitch gun here that we could see.
So, some of these things Prep Baseball Day could have been a couple of years ago. So there's a good chance if he's doing the right workouts, he probably is gaining some velo on some of those pitches.
And it's taking low with the breaking ball at 78 miles an hour. Oh, he called that a strike?
Yes,
oh, wow.
Did.
To me, that looked low, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Would you say so?
Yeah, I looked low from here. I couldn't quite tell, though. I remember on an angle, though, too. So maybe if we're sitting right by home plate, we'd be like, oh.
No tap on the head for Jacob Kopfer. Just kidding.
Imagine. We talked about that rule last couple high school games you did. A warning, and then you're ejected.
This one grounded foul, just foul past the first baseman, Walters. Brady Walters at first base. We'll do the 1-2 over again. Weinfurter at 9 pitches thrown. 1-2 delivery. This one's grounded over to the shortstop, Kolb. Kolb looking to field it over. A good pick over to the first baseman, Walters. 1-2-3, easy as 1-2-3. We head to the second inning. No score, only 1 hit in the first inning combined. We'll see if anybody can get a run going here. You're watching high school baseball on Zaleski Sports.
At Ridgestop Exteriors, we're more than your average home improvement company. We're your neighbors, and for over 20 years, we've been trusted and proudly serving right here in your community. Customer service is our #1 goal. Call now for your free estimate.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Coaches teach your kids to dream. Coaches teach your kids to overcome. Coaches teach your kids good sportsmanship. Coaches teach your kids proper technique. But who teaches your coaches?
We return here on Zaleski Sports for the start of the top of the second inning here. No score through 1 in this non-conference WIAA baseball battle. We want to remind you of our game day sponsor, Prospects Training Academy. At Prospect Training Academy, we train to develop and create leaders on and off the field. We teach our players to be prepared, tough, and accountable. We also focus on the importance of academics and character. We play for the name on the front and the teammates around us. Sign up today at ptabaseball.com. You're just joining
Well
us.
done, Mr. Vanxalata.
Tell us, Matt Peck, tell us a little bit about the Prospect Training Academy.
Oh, yeah, so we've actually been using their home fields a lot recently. The last, 3 or 4 games in a row we did were at the Rock.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've been outside of the Rock, huh?
Yeah, and in the last couple of years we hardly went to the Rock at all. So once we found they had semi-good Wi-Fi, we're like, let's go there.
At the top of the second inning, the first baseman, number 15, Brady Walters.
Brady Walters leading off for the Hartford Orioles.
Keep in mind, everybody, I should mention this too, all the stats and not all the stats, I should say, all like the velo ranges and all that. I get that all from prepbaseballwisconsin.com. So if you want to see if each pitcher has been tested in the past, if they went to one of their showcases, you could see that. But some of these results, keep in mind, though, could be a couple years old if they haven't gone to any of the invites that they've done. So
another great source and free advertisement right there for Prep Baseball Report. They do a really great job there, I tell you what.
We were at their event last weekend.
Yeah, they have. Looks like the catcher for Oconomowoc's getting checked up here.
I think there's
Nelson.
something wrong with his
pitch comm.
His catcher gear, too, and the pitch comm too. That's a good idea. I never thought of that one.
Well, we've gotten to the point where high school baseball has gotten pitch comm now too. So
yeah.
Now Nelson's kind of signaling over his dugout for a second, like with a, like what for a sec there. Beautiful day here from Wisconsin Brewing Company Park. The first pitch airmails that one over and kind of flinching it over for Brady Walters.
Yeah, beautiful day today. We had some cold games already. Whitefish Bay 2 weeks ago. We had our opening day on the network. We had that cold game with Hudson Muskego on Saturday.
Yeah, that was a really great game down there. I mean, we talk about if there's a regular season game of the year in the state, that has a contender to be at least top 3 in there.
Absolutely.
Talk about the comeback that Hudson had. Muskego had it all over him, 8-2. Once in a while, it looked like they're going to possibly run Ruhlman in that game, right?
Yeah, and then before you know it, Hudson 8-8.
It's taken low for a ball, 2-1 on Brady Walters. Chase Doyle up to 17 pitches on the day so far.
I got to give Hudson credit because they played a team like Hartford last Saturday. You had on the network, but they're just insane with traveling. I saw this weekend they're going to Madison Memorial. Next weekend they're at Hortonville Kimberly. Almost every weekend they're going somewhere. Well, from their side of the state, they kind of have to because they're way in the western section. So either you got to go west to Minnesota or go east to travel to somebody that's outside your conference.
One of the best. 3-1 pitch. Let's see where he goes here. Walters just takes it inside for a ball. Hit that top of the zone and first base or second base runner of the day for the Hartford Orioles.
And here comes a new pitch comm.
Yep. So that looks like that has been the issue the whole way so far, right? That's probably what they were talking about. Caden Bush, the designated hitter, coming up to the bat.
Right when it was announced the NFHS passed the pitch comm, I'm like, ooh, that's a nice addition to high school baseball. Gives coaches a chance to communicate better with their catchers and their pitchers.
Wonder how Coach Steve Oleshko does it. He's got 2 Cadens and 2 Bradys in the starting lineup today.
Oh, man.
Caden Bush, Caden Romans, and Brady Helms and Brady Walters so far.
BW. BH. Get over here. That's how he does it. Probably.
Or maybe like a nickname for them or something like that. You don't see that often, right?
Hey, if he had it's about 45% of the lineup is Caden or Braden? Brady, sorry.
First pitch taken in for a strike at 78 miles per hour. I think that's the fastball for Chase Doyle. Pick off the attempt of first. It's not in time there. Really good win for the Hartford Orioles. I mean, they played the, I guess you could say, struggling Menominee Falls team on Tuesday so far this year.
Early on to start the year, yeah, they've lost some games. But like last year, they got really good towards the end of the year. They ended up in sectionals because we saw them right here. That was a foul tip.
Foul tip right there, like you said. Bush started that game against Menominee Falls on yesterday, right? Yesterday, that's when that game was. And he pitched 4 1/3, gave up 1 hit, 1 run, none earned, 5 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Obviously, that won't matter today because he is the designated hitter. But yeah, that Menominee Falls team they played are they still in that top 25 ranking?
Ever since they were, because the top 25 ranking came out at the beginning of the week. So it'll be interesting to see it when it comes out either next Monday or Tuesday if they are still. And Hartford is itching on that corner too. They were like right outside of it, so they can get some good wins this week. They could find themselves ending up there as well.
Another possible pickoff attempt right there to Jacob Koffer.
Couple good teams to start the year, like West Bend West. I think 6 or 7-0 right now. Find themselves in a good spot. So that's a team. Actually, never mind. Hartford won't have to worry about unless they play them non-conference because West Bend West is now in the Glacier Trails with the rest of the Port Washington, Kewaskum, and yeah. So they won't have to worry I haven't checked if they play them non-conference though. So if they played them non-conference, then that could be another tough battle that you didn't think you were going to have at the beginning of the year. I think West Bend West came in at 25 this week as well.
Undefeated, like you said, right?
Yeah, they're
probably weren't. A lot of people didn't pick them to start off like that, though, right?
Although they moved out of the North Shore this year, so I'm not going to say the competition's worse, but it's not as I think favored towards strength.
I think they got these Hartford Orioles at some point this year, right?
I wouldn't be surprised considering they're not that far away. I think Hartford already played West Bend East this year, who's
called strike 3 at the top of the zone. He gassed him up with the 78-mile-per-hour fastball. And there's out number 1. First strikeout of the day for Chase Doyle on the mound. Second, pardon me. Struck out Slater early on in that first inning, and now Bowden Bradner coming up to the plate.
What a stadium view. You got the freeway right behind us. People flying down 94. Going between Milwaukee and Madison.
Heading east. Those people heading east are heading towards Milwaukee. The ones heading west are heading towards Madison.
Actually, correction. They're heading towards Pinecone.
Matt Peck's favorite restaurant.
It's up there, that's for sure.
It's one of the best. Yeah, I will say. We traveled there after state football, pardon me. And that was definitely a journey for sure. We were there. It was kind of like a late night. I do like how they are a 24-hour business. That's for sure.
Yeah, you don't get many of those anymore. George Webb's, I think, are still 24 hours. But, those things can be a little bit interesting in the middle of the night.
Called high strike that time. That zone is kind of tall right now, but pretty tall player at the plate in Bowden Brandner. Brandner. Had a little tongue twister right there for a sec. 0-2 quickly on him with 1 out gone by, and Walters at first base. They got him in a rundown right here. They're going to get him at second base in a rundown. Good pickoff attempt by Doyle to get it over to floor to make the play, and Brady Walters gets caught stealing. So now 2 outs and a strike right here can get him right out of the inning.
Exactly. So you get the out on the pickoff, and then very next pitch you can get him out on the strikeout and then be right back up to bat.
Chase Doyle up to 26 pitches now, and here we go on the 0-2. Let's see where he goes. Got some pitches to use here. 0-2 pitch is low and downstairs for a ball.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I mean, the only hit of the day belongs to Hartford, so nobody's had a runner past first base yet. Actually, take that back. There was a double earlier, past second base.
Brander grounds this one over the shortstop. Seeger, a slow roller, and they make the out at first base to Kopfer on a 5-3 ground out here, or 6-3 ground out. So we head to the bottom of the second inning. Only one hit so far in this game. You're watching high school baseball on Zaleski Sports.
Hey, Fleet Farm fans, you asked, we listened. You wanted lower prices? You got them. In-store, online. We drop prices everywhere. Lower prices on summer favorites like Liquid Pool Shock, Griller's Gold Barbecue Pellets, and Airhead Towables. Lower prices on big-name pet care like Purina Tidy Cats. Lower prices on Valvoline Motor Oils. All because you said so. Look for the bright green price drop signs to find new lower prices on everything you need for everyday life. Only at Fleet Farm.
Looking for a place where everyone feels at home? Welcome to Point Brewery, your family-friendly tap room with something. Looking for a place where everyone feels at home? Welcome to Point Brewery, your family-friendly tap room with something for everyone. From a wide variety of local brews to classic Point sodas for the kids, we've got the perfect pour for everyone. Craving a bite? We've got hot, cheesy Portesi pizzas ready when you are. Whether you're hanging out inside or soaking up the sun in our outdoor beer garden, there's space to unwind. Planning a celebration? Reserve our private event room and make it a gathering to remember. Point Brewery, good times, great taste, all on tap.
Join you right here as country music blares in the background here. The vibes are immaculate here. We are closing in on the end of May. Just 1 month left in the regular season.
The end of May?
Or April, geez, sorry.
Did I lose time?
You know what? Maybe I need to go to sleep already, right?
Yeah. Did I lose time? I was
feeling out of it already. End of April, sorry.
Yeah.
So, now I forgot what I was going to say. Beautiful weather outside.
Yes, exactly. I was like, this is a little cold for the end of May.
Although in May we will get a few cold days. Thankfully, fingers crossed. I'm gonna knock on wood right now. We don't have any snow, which hasn't happened in years, if anything, right? So we head to the bottom of the second inning. Second inning of work for Weinferder. A pretty good first inning and leading off for Oconomowoc is the right fielder O'Leary. Colin O'Leary.
Yeah, Oconomowoc's still looking for their first hit of the day as well.
O'Leary fouls it off a little tardy on that second pitch, 1-1. Man, did I really say? I really said it was May.
I was like, man.
Yesterday made it feel like it though.
Oh man, I'm like, man, sectionals is coming up in a week, aren't they?
Sectionals is coming up in a week, and Oconomowoc's only 3-2, right? That's how it is.
That'd be quite a bad spring for weather if you were only 3-2 by the end of May. But I wouldn't rule it out in Wisconsin.
One's taken high for a ball on Colin O'Leary. Hunter Weinferder once again on the mound today. One pitch. The lefty on the mound is Colin O'Leary. We haven't seen a lot of lefties yet this year. Slow pause right here. One's taken low in for a ball. I just got an underdog notification on Twitter that said that Eugenio Suarez scratched with an injury tonight for the MLB news.
Okay.
Any Reds fans listening? I'm not personally. We're all Brewers fans here.
The 7 people watching, I doubt any of them are Reds fans, considering there are not many of them.
1-2 pitch. Oh, no, that was 3-1, pardon me, and he takes inside for a ball in the first base runner of the night for the Oconomowoc Raccoons. So, no, I can feel it coming to the air, coming up to bat. That's Nelson coming up to bat. Is that another Caden we got at the plate now?
Wow.
It's our third Caden of the night, I believe, if it is.
Caden's all over WBC Park.
No, Kaysen Nelson, pardon me. Oh, we actually got a semi-truck parked in the outfield right now. Pickoff attempt at first. Got a red semi. I thought it was tipped. From this view, it looked like it was like tipped over for a sec.
Well, that'd have been quite the scene.
Maybe that guy in that semi-truck's like, hey, I see a baseball game going on. Let me take a minute here before I have to get on my delivery.
I know he should do. Say, hey, Zaleski Sports is watching the game. I should put it on. We're not watching the game. We're broadcasting the game. But he should say, hey, I can listen to it on the radio. I just plug my aux cord in.
Now, you know, it's something I find interesting. Oconomowoc's got a guy warming up in their bullpen already.
Oh, interesting.
So 2 innings into this one. Got someone warming up as that one's taken in for a strike on the first pitch.
Vince Mancuso, the head coach of Oconomowoc, mentioned to us that next couple of weeks, after this week, they have 5 games a week. That's what you get for rainouts. You got to make them up at some point. And
starts next Tuesday with Oak Creek. It'll be a 50-minute travel for them when they play them at Oak Creek and when Oak Creek comes out here.
That's the furthest drive in the Classic 8 now is Oak Creek to Oconomowoc.
Creek right on the lake, if you guys aren't familiar.
Yeah, as you're saying, how did this conference end up like this? Well, it's only like that for 2 years, and then Oak Creek to the Greater Metro.
Franklin also moving there as well, and everything but football.
And Classic 8, Hamilton will join the Classic 8. So
one of the state participants, as that one is taken outside for a ball.
And yes, I mean Sussex Hamilton, not Milwaukee Hamilton.
That would be crazy, right? If you had Milwaukee Hamilton in the Classic 8, that would be fun, right?
Now, people weren't happy when Reagan and King were supposed to get moved to the SEC. I can't imagine what they'd be like if Hamilton moved to the Classic 8.
Now King is King, as that one's a swing and a miss for strike 3 on the breaking ball at 76 miles an hour for out number 1. But King's in the Southeast Conference for football now.
Yeah.
Alex Herzog coming up to the bat. You always got to love the vibes here when teams do walk-up songs.
One of the stadiums that you can do it for. And Oconomowoc's head coach told us that they fundraise to play 15 home games a year. And then Kettle Moraine does the same thing as well.
Speaking of Kettle Moraine,
yeah,
head coach for the boys basketball team, Brian Rickard, in attendance today. We said what's up to him.
His nephew plays for Oconomowoc. I don't know, Hartford, excuse me.
Unfortunately, we didn't get him on this year. We were, right? We were.
We were supposed to,
We were slated. Some things fell through, but next year we'll for sure get him on somewhere.
Get him on in football.
One of the best, most humble coaches I've met so far in my time as a broadcaster, and one of the guys we know well already.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Communicate with him well. Jason Zaleski got to do one of his games, right? 2 years ago at Fiserv.
That's right, he did.
A lot of connections here with Brian Rickard, though. Remember, we talked with him before, previous to this date, that he had a nephew on this team. Swing and a miss. Strike 2 coming here. A big whiff right there on the fastball. A lot of these pitchers hanging around that 75 to 78 range today for both Doyle and Weinferder. So 0-2 now on Alex Herzog. Try to pick it off at first. Weinferder at 21 pitches.
I know Weinferder's been, he's throwing back to first quite a bit of times. He's been
kind of seeing a little bit of both, right?
Looking over that runner a lot at first base, no matter who it's been for Oconomowoc.
Is today the pickoff game? Yeah. Someone's gonna get somebody at one point, if that's the case.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
0-2 pitch is low. Try to get him with the breaking ball.
And considering that he's a lefty, he's got a good chance to get him because remember, even though he lifts that leg, he can still throw back. And, that's kind of hard to watch for when you're going against a lefty, that's for sure.
So here we go. We'll do the 1-2 pitch now on Herzog. One of these pitchers haven't worked the count too high yet. This one fouled to the back screen. And Steve Oleshko is going to go get it and maybe a few claps on his way to the dugout. Notice that he's one of the energetic coaches, right?
He should have thrown the ball up here right to me.
See him in the pregame routine, getting his guys amped up.
Absolutely. Love to see that.
You always love to see energy from coaches. Swing and a miss on that pitch. Strikeout, 2 strikeouts in the inning now for Weinfurter. And now that'll send up the bottom of the order where we head to Bennett Osborne, who is playing in left field today. Interesting enough, both these starting pitchers today aren't in the lineup hitting. So maybe POs or just not in the lineup hitting.
I would probably take a guess at PO.
PO.
For the most part.
Chase Doyle, 2 innings thrown, but like we mentioned again, if you're just joining us, there is some white jerseys warming up in that bullpen on that third base left field side, right?
Yeah.
Looks like it. Unless it's just maybe a bullpen day for Coach Vince Mancuso. No idea.
He told us to have a pen ready, though. Keep in mind, he's going to be
true.
a lot of in and out. So
that is probably true then, right? Because maybe he has a lot of arms ready for tonight. He's got 21 guys on his roster.
That means 21 are going to pitch tonight.
You know what?
That would be crazy.
The designated hitter, you don't have any hitting experience, but you're going to pitch today. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
And another pickoff attempt. I mean, it's about 3 or 4 in the inning now that Weinfurter has gone back. Brady Walters, busy man at first right there with the pickoff attempts. And Colin O'Leary definitely can fly. Had a caught stealing last inning, though. 1-0 pitch. This one, a hit and run situation. That one's going to fall. Oh, it's fair for a base hit. O'Leary's going to get to first or third. That one hit the line, it looked like, right? And
yeah, it's just like
Bennett Osborne with the base hit. Runners on the corners with 2 outs.
Yeah, it seemed like it kind of just hung up there like a little bit of a blooper, and it just fell right on the line.
I had to watch for the sign for a sec from the umpire at second base, right? Or is the home plate umpire the one that makes the call when there's
home
only
plate,
2?
Because he can see down the line. Now, unless the first base umpire is behind first base.
First base, they only have 2 umpires today, it looks like.
That's typically all they have.
Yeah.
Unless it's sectionals, then they'll have 3.
Sectionals, they'll have 3, right? Or
Yeah.
3 or 4. State, I know they probably have a full crew.
Yeah.
It's tough to be an official these days, right?
Yeah, there's still shortages going on. I'm not sure what the exact numbers are right now, but yeah, there's still shortages, unfortunately.
Jonathan Seeger up to bat. The shortstop, the 8th hole hitter. First pitch taken in for a strike. Swing and a miss. Ooh, he gassed him up with that one. Oh, and 2 now, and a chance to get up with a goose egg for Hartford with trouble on the bases on first and third. So here we go on the 0-2. Let's see if Jonathan Seeger can deliver. And they got another run down here, and they're probably going to get him in a pickle. They're going to throw it over to second. Going to do a double steal.
Watch out.
Is that run score then?
The run scores if they don't get this out.
Oh, so this is a crazy rundown right here. They are going to try to get him here, and they finally do, so the run does not score, right? Or how does that work now?
They're going to talk it over. Let's see before we go to commercial.
They had Bennett Osborne in a rundown for a while, and they finally got him. But the runner did score easily, and they are clapping. So I'm assuming that they are going to count the run. But
But they're talking about it. Let's see.
Waiting a confirmation here.
They have not put it on the scoreboard yet.
Well,
wait a minute.
Hartford's going back out, or I don't know what's going on here. But only a runner coming out on second, so was that runner not out at second base then, or what?
He must not have been. So
Steve Oleshko coming out for further explanation.
So we'll put 1 run on the scoreboard.
So Colin O'Leary came all the way home. He was safe no matter what, right? So
yeah.
I'm assuming if he stays out here, yeah. Now they counted the run. So now it's 1-0 Oconomowoc, and these guys are going to discuss it over.
I think the umpire has no clue that he's coming. Now he sees him.
Now that home plate umpire is signing 2 with an out. Probably signaling for second base. And Weinfurter coming closer to the dugout, but everybody's that outfield, a lot of those guys in the outfield coming back in now, but probably just for a quick chat. Oleshko going to go back to his dugout now.
That was interesting. I don't know why he was safe. I thought they tagged him unless the ball came out.
Wild sequence there, right? What's the usual rule there if they get the tag or after he gets home plate?
I think with 2 outs, it's I'm not sure.
And you would figure.
I mean, there was an argument because we're still playing in the inning, so there obviously had to been something at second base to keep us, to keep them playing this inning.
This is when I wish these umpires, I know one day they will have it, but they had a microphone to explain the play call. Because that kind of stumbled me a little bit on that one, if you will, on that play. So Osborne advances to second, still 2 outs, and the 0-2 pitch is inside, and it's going to get away. Osborne's going to easily advance to third. No throw by Medla at the plate. So now another run at third base in Bennett Osborne. Jonathan Seeger still looking to plate another run in here for insurance now after Oconomowoc gets on the board. 1-2 pitch. 0-2 pitch. Or, yeah, 1-2 pitch.
Yeah, so it was 1-2. So now 2-2.
Yeah, bottom for 2. Just can't help but notice how many sponsors they have in this outfield here at the wall.
Yeah.
So many on the outside. You got from Sendix to Ewald.
Steinoffels.
To Harley Davidson to Coors Light.
Yeah, you name it. They're all over the place here.
Swing and miss fouled off the catcher, and the umpire right there making sure that Medlow's all right because he took that one screaming off of his mask. Wearing the hockey mask.
Now Steve Oleshko going to have a conversation with the umpire here.
A lot of drama here in the inning, huh? With a lot of controversial plays.
Oh, so now the umpire's going to come in and have a conversation.
I don't know what this could be here. That's what I'm confused about again now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it was just, I mean, it was, in your eyes, it was just foul ball too, right? Just
yeah, it looked like it.
Casual foul ball, and now Steve Oleshko going to talk with his assistants as the home plate umpire, kind of scooting back and doing a little moonwalk.
They must be checking on the catcher maybe, because maybe he got hit pretty hard that time because they're going to have him throw a couple pitches.
I think he looks all right. And he took a screaming liner right at his mask. And they're going to continue with him in this game. So Jonathan Seeger still at the plate here with what has been like a, almost 10-minute at bat now, it seems like.
Yeah.
With all the decisions gone on here. Let's see if he can plate another run here. 2-2 pitch is, and just outside for a ball. Full count coming. Hartford up to 32 pitches now. Yeah, all that total, it took at least 5 to 7 minutes right there in those last few sequences with the injury and the run scored on the rundown.
Yeah.
This one fouled back to the backstream, but like you said, something had to have happened with the ball in the glove if
I'm assuming because
Osborne was safe at second.
Just weird that he was called safe. I mean, we're all the way up here, so we can't tell.
I thought from our view it looked like he got tagged, though.
Yeah.
From what I thought I saw. Next time I got to pay more attention to the umpire on what he calls right away.
But I think he did call him out because they started coming in.
Full count again, 3-2, taken high, and 5 to 7 minute at bat is all worth it for Jonathan Seeger. He gets on and runners around the corners again for the 9-hole hitter, Basso. Now some trouble gone by here.
Yeah, if you're Steve Oleshko's squad, you just want to keep him at 1 run right here. Be the best result early on.
Basso with a hit in 2 at-bats his last time out against Waukesha West yesterday. Just hitting that corner for a strike. It's taken outside for a ball.
Yeah, I'll take a look at some scores while we have it around the state. Let me see here what we got.
Weinfurter's last outing, he went 3 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts in their comeback win over Whitnell last Saturday at the PBR Showcase. This one lined over to deep right field. The right fielder going back. It's going to go over his head, and that'll play 2 runs. Or maybe not, because that one goes over and out. So that means Seeger will have to hold that third. It'll be a ground rule RBI double for the 9-hole hitter Max Basso, and it's 2-0 Oconomowoc leading on the Orioles. Back to the top of the order we go.
So some score updates from around the area. We got Hamilton Chargers leading Columbus 13-0. Arrowhead leading Wisconsin Lutheran 1-0. Waterford leading New Berlin Eisenhower 1-0. Waukesha West up 2-0 on Oak Creek. Franklin up 3-0 on Racine Case. And South Milwaukee up 4-0 on Milwaukee Reagan. Kenosha St. Joe's up, Whitefish Bay up 2-1 on Kenosha St. Joseph. And Brookfield East and Muskego set to start soon. And Pewaukee and Brookfield Academy playing as well this afternoon.
Mentioned that Oak Creek is down 2-0 to Waukesha West. They still have yet to win a game so far at 0-6.
Yeah, they were in the Classic 8 newly this year. And
only for 1 more year after this? Or is it 2 more years after this year? Just 1 year, right? After this year? That one's coming right over us for a foul ball. What was that again?
And an Arrowhead team, too, who's below 500 right now. They could use a big win today. They're only 2-3, but still. You know, some losses early on, but
they're playing a really good Wisconsin Lutheran team, though, that we saw never gives up, right? We call the Woodland West, Woodland East, or mainly Woodland West, I guess, if you will, like the Woodpeckers, right? Because they just continue to fight no matter what each inning with runs. That one's a big swing and a miss for strike 3. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Weinfurter, but a scoring run on a pickoff attempt and a ground rule double for Max Basso. It's a 2-0 game. Oconomowoc leads as we head to the 3rd inning on Zaleski Sports.
Hey, Fleet Farm fans, you asked, we listened. You wanted lower prices? You got them. In-store, online. We drop prices everywhere. Lower prices on summer favorites like Liquid Pool Shock, Griller's Gold Barbecue Pellets, and Airhead Towables. Lower prices on big name pet care like Purina Tidy Cats. Lower prices on Valvoline motor oils. All because you said so. Look for the bright green price drop signs to find new lower prices on everything you need for everyday life. Only at Fleet Farm.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 180,000 participants here in Wisconsin who take part in high school sports.
Back here on Zaleski Sports alongside Matt Peck, I'm Elijah Vincelata. We head to the top of the 3rd inning with Oconomowoc 2-0 lead right here on Zaleski Sports. Feel free to share this game if you got family or friends of Oconomowoc or Hartford. We are always live and free and always will be. Just want to make that clear. Those 2 runs, if you're just joining us in that bottom of the 2nd inning, coming from a pickoff attempt by the pitcher, Weinfurter, kind of a controversial one as well, as it scored the run from 3rd. Thought they got the tag at 2nd, but maybe something might have dropped or something to get that run home. And a ground rule double from Max Basso. Little insurance, 2-0. So now Easton Kiekler will come up to bat here to start the top of the 3rd inning. And they look to try to even things up. Kiekler playing 2nd base, the 8-hole hitter. Takes in for a ball, signaled for a bunt. Hartford had a different catcher on Friday or Saturday, I believe. The game was supposed to be on Friday, I should say, last week against Hudson.
It was supposed to be a week ago, but, we had that nice little tornado warning that came through. That, pushed a lot of games around.
It was Jack Mazer, the backup catcher, almost having to come in this game, right?
Yeah.
This game for the almost injury for Medla, right?
I think it was, yep.
Pitch is taken high for a ball. I was like, 2-1 the count, and it's taken in for a strike on Easton Kiekler. Kiekler had a pretty nice night when we had him on last Saturday against Hudson.
Yeah.
I guess you were technically there for the top of the first.
Top of the first, yeah. And then the Uber came. I had to go.
You had to go to your family dinner.
Yep.
Big swing and a miss, soared by Easton Kiekler for out number 1. And looks like, yeah, Chase Doyle still on the mound here. You bring up that good point. We were talking at one of the commercial breaks. You know, when we were talking about how Oconomowoc was warming up a guy in the bottom of the second inning last time out. Coach Vince Mancuso was telling us, be ready for subs, right? Or what was the exact words he said?
Get ready to have your pen ready.
Yeah, get ready to have your pen ready for substitutions. So they're going to keep Chase Doyle in for another inning. He's doing a really great job as the catcher, Nolan Medla, up to bat right now. Medla takes in for a strike. Quickly, 0-2 now on Medla. He got that one up to 79 miles per hour. Let's see where Doyle goes here. 0-2 pitch is just hitting the outside corner. Mazer played catcher yesterday, so maybe a day off unless an injury today for Mazer. With Medla behind the dish. That's what you always got to have, right? In these high school teams, you probably got to have at least 2 catchers on the squad.
Yes, for sure.
That should almost be a rule, right?
Absolutely, because you never know.
Catcher's probably the dangerous position to play. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 called. Swinging. Couple breaking balls on back-to-back strikeouts for Chase Doyle. He is up to 4 Ks on the day now. Aiden Kolb comes back up. We are back up to the top of the order now for the Orioles. Kolb 0 for 1 on the day. The ground out. And he goes on the first pitch, lines it over to left field for a base hit to left field. Aiden Kolb, that's just what they do, right?
Yeah.
First pitch attack. And let's see on the second time around through the order that they get to see Chase Doyle better more. Now you got the threat of Brady Helms, the Penn State commit, back up to the plate. He's 0 for 1 in the day.
Yeah, it helps, having Helms up there now because Kolb got a base hit. So if he can find a gap this time, he can split the lead in half.
First pitch taken low for a ball. Actually, this Hartford team lost to Grafton 7-6 on Wednesday. So this is a series of multiple games in a few days this week, which you see a lot. Helms lines this one to deep right field. This one going deep. This one going back and fouled.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that would have been gone if that was a little bit more left, but the wind is pushing in today and kind of pushing east to where that ball was slicing. That was gone, right? That looked like that was gone, but
I couldn't quite tell. I'm in a blind spot here.
Yeah. That one went past that foul pole and it hit those, those lawn chair or those Hawaiian or beach chairs out there, I guess, if you will. Kind of hit one of those. That's why he's a Penn State commit, though, because he shows that he can have the power like that.
Yeah, he's got power back there. And, I'm sure the pitcher now is thinking back like, ooh, probably shouldn't give him that pitch again because if that one goes fair, this game is tied.
Helms takes high for a ball. 2 balls and a strike now on one of the 2 Bradys.
2 Cadens, 2 Bradys. Roughly 40 to 45% of Hartford's starting lineup is with those 2 starting names.
That one just clips the top of the zone for a strike. So now 2-2. And Brady Helms kind of checking in with the home plate umpire, seeing where he's at with the zone right now. Giving his little synopsis. That's a word I've been using a lot today for some reason. This one's fouled over again. Screamer heads up to those guys on the third base side. Didn't even flinch, those fans.
Yeah, they weren't phased. They're like, oh, the ball's going over our head.
You're taking a risk standing right there.
Yeah.
Screaming liner. Like, I don't want to wish that on him, but, like, that is the danger zone. So a 2-2 pitch. 44 pitches for Chase Doyle. Here is the 2-2 delivery. And a quick check to first base before he does. Takes right in the back. He kind of turned his back roughly, and that's going to set a bruise tomorrow, and he gets a hit by pitch right there. Probably he probably didn't intentionally do that, obviously.
No, I wouldn't. I don't see that very often in high school.
Yeah, so first and second base now. Helms at first, and Aiden Kolb at second base to set up the 3-hole hitter. Caden Romans, who's got the one other hit other than Aiden Kolb. Trying to put the Hartford Orioles on the board. It's been quiet offensively for Hartford up to this point. It's their first chance to do some damage, but 2 outs gone by.
Number 2, Caden Romans.
Yeah, it's a good chance for Hartford to do some damage here. Maybe get a hit, into the gap down the line, or even base hit to the outfield can score a run. But if you can put one in the gap here, you could possibly potentially tie this game. And Roman's a good player to do so.
Notice that these pitchers have a kind of a slow windup, right?
Yeah.
Taking their time. We've seen lately pitchers, was it at the Muskego game, they all had fast windups. They were locked and loaded that game.
Yeah, it seemed like it. They were going wind up, set, go. Wind up, set, go.
Obviously not a bad thing. If you had a pitch clock in that Hudson Muskego game,
wouldn't need it.
They wouldn't even need it. They're going to try to pick him off at second base over to Seeger. Luckily, he kept that in front of him. Otherwise, Kolb and Helms would have been at third base if that one sailed over to Basso in center field.
Yeah, it's one of those big at-bats early on for Romans right here.
Romans fouls this one out of play.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where you want to be able to put yourself, like I just mentioned a couple minutes ago, right down the line or into the gap because, you got 2 base runners on base who look like they have a little bit of speed here that you possibly can get them first to third or even first to home. But a base hit can potentially get you first to third here and get the runner home from second. So Oconomowoc is a meeting on the mound, probably a pitch strategy to Romans. No, and they just got to get one more out here, but you got to work hard to get that one more out because you're in the Hartford's meat of their order.
Case and Nelson with the chat with Doyle. 46 pitches, and Vince Mancuso kind of ran with him the whole way so far, right?
Yeah.
In a day where he said, get your pen ready for a lot of changes. Never know, though. You could see a pitcher after this inning. I don't think he warmed up that guy for nothing in the bullpen.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Because he was up there for a while, right? Good 5 to 10 minutes. One's taken for a low strike. So now the count goes to 0-2. He's got to shorten up a little bit here for Caden Romans. Looking to deliver our first run of the ball game. Oh, 2 delivery. In there for a strike. Called strike 3, and Caden Romans cannot believe it. And skipping off the mound is Doyle as he is 3 innings scoreless as we head to the middle of the 3rd inning right here on Zaleski Sports.
From humble beginnings in 1904, the Wheatrick family has grown Grassland Dairy Products into one of the largest processors of butter in the nation. Based in Greenwood, Wisconsin, the family and its hundreds of employees continue their pursuit of providing high-quality products that can proudly be served in restaurants and homes across America. My grandparents worked so hard their whole life to keep things nice. You want to make sure that you're getting the job done correctly. At no point did I feel like I wasn't being handled by professionals. They were literally taking it on a surgical level, it seemed. Like they were very, very thorough on every step. I feel like Infinity treated my family with the same respect they would have treated their own. I feel like my house is brand new again.
It's been a great day at the office so far for the starting pitcher of Oconomowoc and Chase Doyle. 3 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts so far. We're glad you guys could join us here today alongside Matt Peck. I'm Elijah Vincelata. Game number 6 of the year for us in the spring right here on Zaleski Sports. Want to get our upcoming schedule coming next week. Matt Peck, you got that for us next weekend, I believe, right?
As of now, it's going to be Lake Geneva Badger at Union Grove on Friday, and Saturday it's going to be, as of right now, our Arrowhead at Slinger. So 2 good games coming your way next week, and then
that might have to be another one of those get-right games for Arrowhead.
Yeah. It's a makeup from our opening day game of the season, too, as that one was rained out. Welcome to Wisconsin. It was rained out. Shocking.
It looks like Vince Mancuso is going to send another arm back to the bullpen again. I think that's number 14. Colton Meyer heading to the bullpen for Oconomowoc. One of the bullpen coaches going to head out there as well. It's interesting. They got a back screen behind the catcher in the bullpen. That's got to mean they don't have like a cage in the behind it, right? In case the ball goes past them.
All depends.
So we are in the bottom of the 3rd inning now. Cooper Shafkin at the plate now. Shafkin lines this one over to right field for a base hit on a liner. It's his first hit of the game for the 3rd baseman. Can do it all, I guess, right? Because he was starting pitcher yesterday. They play Waukesha West.
Yeah, it seems like he can do it all. He's been all over the place so far today.
Kopfer comes back up now. Kind of in that part of the lineup that Coach Mancuso wants right now, right?
Yeah.
He's got a couple of his strong guys up in Shafkin, Kopfer, and Colin O'Leary coming up next. Great discipline, and Weinfurt are on the mound still. 2 earned runs for him so far. This one's going to be grounded over and batted down by Weinfurt. This is going to be a tough play to make. The 3rd baseman's going to have no throw. So Hunter Weinfurt bats it down, and Brady Helms tried to make something out of nothing there, but instead they're probably that's going to be an infield base hit, right? For
yeah,
Kopfer.
you know, it's one of those tough breaks right there because you know if he didn't touch that ball, you might be looking at a double play. But you know, it's instant reaction. There's nothing you can do about it. It's not like you're going to say, hey, don't touch the ball. But it's like one of those instant reactions that happens, and unfortunately went off his glove, so which allowed more time for the runner to get to first base. So now Oconomowoc threading a little bit here, 1st and 2nd, no outs here in this bottom of the 3rd inning.
Indeed.
There's a bunch showing. Oh.
First baseman coming in. They're going to get a force out. Oh, no!
Oh, goodness.
Gets off the gloves of Kiekler. Walters comes in, and the run scores from 3rd base. Shafkin. And Kopfer gets over, and is that going to be an error, though, or what?
I would say most likely.
Or maybe, wait a minute here. Time's going to be called, but the runner's going to score. So 3-0 Oconomowoc now. Steve Oleshko's going to check on his 2nd baseman. Kiekler, that one I think it might have went off his head. So you got all things in play right here. You got to possibly check for concussion.
Let's check here. Let's see what happened.
Yeah, you saw Brady Walters come in right as O'Leary was signaling on a bunt. Pardon me, that was O'Leary at the plate. Shafkin scores and Kopfer over to 3rd.
It seemed like the ball went off the first baseman's glove. It just went on a bounce and just went over his glove a little bit. But, a tough break now because Oconomowoc double play is gone. Oconomowoc gets a run on the play, and now they got runners on second and third.
Well, base hit can make this one 5-0 for the Raccoons. We're hunting through this game early on. Only 3 hits so far, too, so not a lot of damage done as both umpires, or the home plate umpire, looking to check up on Easton Keekler. Keekler made some terrific plays on Saturday against Hudson when I had him on.
Oh, absolutely.
Their infield was very special in that moment. And it looks like they're going to keep Keekler in this game. Colin O'Leary and Cutfer chatting it over with the head coach for signs and everything. A few warm-up pitches coming up right here for Weinferter. Man, he just can't get a break with all these injuries and delays, right? So do you think part of that kind of messes up his delivery at all, and like how fresh he stays?
Because now he's got to wait a little bit longer to pitch again, but
gotta stay ready though, right? That's how the game is played.
Absolutely. And now you gotta try to get the batter at the plate, because any slow roller grounder, or else you need to hope for a fast grounder hit to one of the infielders, because most likely you're gonna get a run across here otherwise, or a strikeout.
First pitch is a big swing and a miss. He wanted to at least put them up 5-0 with that swing right there.
It's going to be tough for Hartford, but I got to try to keep them at 3-0 here. That'd be the most reasonable option here, but
no outs still, too,
no
with
outs,
the second and third.
You're basically asking for 2 strikeouts and maybe a ground out.
Kason Nelson takes low for a strike.
Yeah, so got him in a good spot here. 0-2. I wouldn't give him anything too pretty, but I also make sure you get something that the catchers know it's coming so you can avoid a pass ball.
This one popped up in the air. That'll get to the seats. And over to Brian Rickards' area kind of a little bit in the stands.
He's saying, let the kids go get it.
He kind of pointed up, too, like.
Yeah. We see Brian Ricker here. There's no hardwood here.
Nope.
Interesting. I'd never seen him outside the hardwood before.
Amazing, terrific coach. This one's popped up in the air to right field. That's going to be deep enough to score the runner over to third. Brander makes the catch for out number 1. Both runners tag. They throw to third, not in time. Another run scores on the sacrifice fly for Kason Nelson, the catcher, and it's 4-0, like I said, for the Raccoons now. Good news, though, for Hartford. They finally getting out there. But now you have to deal with another threat of a potential sac fly again, right? That's what happens when you have no outs and guys on second and third. Kind of came close to almost getting Colin O'Leary at third. They were able to relay it. Terrific throw from Brander.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And right. Just a step late on the throw, but you kind of got to throw. Kind of got to go throw like 80 yards right there, right? In one gasp.
So now another sac fly can put this 5-0 right here. So
Ben Weber trying to do that. First pitch outside for a ball. Weinferter up to 49 pitches now. It's kind of been, I'll say this about a start. It's kind of been interesting for him, right? With all the injuries and that wild pickoff attempt that ended up scoring a run in the second inning. One taken in for a strike. I think the best case scenario you can hope for here is if you get a grounder over, probably a faster grounder over to Helms, right? And then that'll probably hold Colin O'Leary at third and try to get the force out at first base. So 1-1.
Definitely something you want to hope for, yeah.
Big swing and a miss. Or, I mean,
a strikeout.
Strikeout could, I think that'll do even better right now for this Hartford squad.
And then at least if you get a strikeout here, you got 2 outs, even if the ball is put in play and it's playable, you get out of the inning, because right now you get a hit to the outfield, pop fly could most likely score another run unless it's very shallow.
1-2 now on Weber. That one's taken low. Try to get him to chase. Good pick behind the plate for Medla. If that one gets past Medla, though, on the wild pitch, that's going to score O'Leary.
Oh, for sure.
Two the count. One's taken low, and it gets to the backstop and passes him. O'Leary going to dive home, and it's 5-0. Oconomowoc on a pass ball. That might even be a wild pitch, right?
Yeah, definitely something you didn't want right there because gets past the catcher. And now.
So now, back-to-back innings. For last inning, 3 runs for Oconomowoc, or 2 runs. Now it's 3 runs this one. So bases are clear now. That's probably the most relieving part for Weinferter on the mound. Brad Weber walked his first time up. That one is taken.
Actually hits him.
So he gets on, and it's kind of been a nightmare inning so far for Hunter Weinferter.
Okay. And I'm right back.
And a mound visit coming here, Steve Oleshko. Nobody warming up in the bullpen yet, but this is probably just, what do you think this chat's going to be about here? Probably just a composure thing?
Yeah, composure thing. Get him settled because, 5 runs so far, 3 in this inning so far. Before this inning was only a 2-0 game. Now 5 is kind of definitely not out of it yet. It's only the bottom of the 3rd inning, but still got a lot of work to do now being down 5-0. It's kind of one of those situations like pitching wise where you want to divide the outfield into 5 parts because it's one of those situations where you had bases loaded earlier for one of the teams, I should say second and third, no outs. You're in a tough position. Divide it around, you get an out at first, get a strikeout, 2 outs, and there's ways you can get out of it without getting any outs, but here Hartford kind of had the fortunate situation, and the pass ball was an absolute killer as well because that gets past the catcher and allows another run, which especially with 2 strikes too, and then they had the hit by pitch the very next batter. So
got some Hartford fans, some kids running up and down the stairs, getting their steps in at Wisconsin Brewing Company Park here in Oconomowoc.
Good place to do it.
This is a beautiful ballpark. I still have yet to check a game out here. This one's going to probably fall. Oh, it's going to fall for a base hit for Bennett Osborne. It just got down. Kiekler tried to dive out, just out of reach, and that was a bloop single right there for Bennett Osborne. And it's 2 for 2 day for him. A double and a single.
Yeah, it's one of those that adds on to a tough break inning for Hartford. Ball kind of falls just between the right fielder and the second baseman, but it was an awesome effort by the second baseman diving out for that one, but just not able to get to it. Oconomowoc's definitely one of those teams you're going to have to watch out for in the Classic 8. They're sneaky good. Didn't get a lot of recognition in the preseason rankings, but I could see them finding themselves there before the end of the year.
Jonathan Seeger back up to the plate now. Oh, man. I think we might have, I might be wrong on this, but we might have 2 Jonathans on Oconomowoc too. So
wow.
We got multiple names all over the place here today.
Very common name.
Yeah, all these names are common, like you were saying too. This one's going to be grounded over to the second baseman. He bobbles it over to first. He's only got 1 play, and he gets the, how at first, a 4-3 ground out, but kind of almost treats it like a bunt in a way, right? Because both runners advance. I think you could have turned 2 right there if Kiekler doesn't bobble it.
Absolutely. It's a tough one. But it's always good, like you teach your players as a baseball coach, stay with the ball. So if you bobble it, just stay with it. And that's exactly what they did That's exactly what he did at second base. And just getting 1 out is important rather than overthrowing and getting no outs and rushing your throw.
Basso comes up to the plate now. I think I'm almost 90% sure Oconomowoc's batted through their whole order now.
Well, I would think so. Being up 5 runs,
Yeah.
they batted up to their whole order.
In this inning specifically.
Oh, in this inning.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the entire game so far. I'm like,
Guess I needed to make myself a little bit more clear there just to make sure. But it's definitely getting close, right? I mean, it is definitely getting close. Looks like Steve Oleshko is going to continue to give it a go with his man Ryan Furter on the mound. That one's taken low for a ball. 2-1 now. And now Bosco going to shorten up here and say, we're going to give it a good deal here.
exactly. You know, all you got to do is, like, you know, loft in the outfield here. You get 1 run, 2 runs.
One's taken inside. Good. Oh, that one's a strike. 2-2 on the breaking ball.
So you get a base, like I was mentioning here. If he can just, you know, and now with 2 strikes, he's got to choke up on the bat a little bit here. You know, don't go full swing here. It's just about getting a base hit here, because if he gets a base hit here, he has get a 6th run or a 7th run on the board for Oconomowoc. The way they've been hitting the ball, I could see it happening.
2-2 to Max Basso. He is swing and a miss, and they finally get out of the inning. But 3 more runs have been plated for the Oconomowoc Raccoons. A lot of insurance with their 5-0 lead as we head to the 4th inning on Zaleski Sports.
Hey, Fleet Farm fans, you asked, we listened. You wanted lower prices? You got them. In-store, online. We drop prices everywhere. Lower prices on summer favorites like Liquid Pool Shock, Griller's Gold Barbecue Pellets, and Airhead Towables. Lower prices on big-name pet care like Purina Tidy Cats. Lower prices on Valvoline motor oils. All because you said so. Look for the bright green price drop signs to find new lower prices on everything you need for everyday life. Only at Fleet Farm.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the diamond.
In the pool. On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate.
Back here for the start of the top of the 4th inning right here on Zaleski Sports. Second game of the week for us here in the Milwaukee area. We had New Brill and Eisenhower at Wisconsin Lutheran at the Rock Sports Complex, where Eisenhower took care of business in that one on Wednesday. Second game of the week. This is our first time since our first game of the year that we're not at the Rock Sports Complex, right?
Yeah.
Or the Milkman Stadium. So kind of good to get out of our zone here. I want to thank the Lake Country Dock Hounds, Brian Yeezy, one of the marketing directors here. Communications directors, I guess, if you will, right? I think that's what he is for the Lake Country Dock Hounds. Just reached out and he said absolutely, right? So big shout out to him. Got a new pitcher on the mound here for the Oconomowoc Raccoons. It's going to be Colton Meyer coming out of the bullpen. And I got to put my pen to the board now here, just as Coach Mancuso was telling me. This is probably going to be a bullpen game the rest of the way now. Only about, but a good day in the office, like I said, for their starting pitcher tonight.
Left fielder, number 1, Jackson Slater.
Colton Doyle, or pardon me. Wait, am I right on that?
Yeah.
Colton Doyle?
I believe so, yes.
Chase Doyle, pardon me. Jeez. I'm all over the place with that.
I must be over the place too, because I did it wrong.
Yeah, you said yeah. Oh, wow, that pitch got all the way up to 83 for first 80s tonight, right? I think since we're in one of these ballparks, it's kind of cool to see that we get to see how fast he throws. He's taken in for a strike. He piled that one in at 82 miles per hour, 1-1 the count. You don't have anything on Colton Meyer?
I haven't checked yet, but I'll have to get it up in between innings if he comes in another inning and talk about him a little bit. But yeah, you know, I could just take a guess right now. You said the first couple pitches were already in there around the 80 mile per hour range.
82 to 83 range,
so
yeah.
He probably sits maybe max at 84, maybe velo's 81 to 83. What was that one at?
82, kind of cruising speed. 2-1 now on Slater, who's leading off for Hartford. Cleanup hitter, 4-5-6 due up this inning. One's taken low in the dirt for ball 3. It's just consistency, huh? 82 once again. Would have loved to see it for that Muskego pitcher that we saw last weekend. Who was it? What was it?
Tyson Grokowski.
Tyson Grokowski.
Yeah.
There's so many guys on that team that have like siblings that I keep thinking like,
Oh,
I don't know who's who on that team. That one's in there for a strike. That's just how you know Muskego knows how to develop their teams, and it doesn't matter what sport they're in.
Hey, brother number 1, brother number 2, you're going to be good at football and basketball too, and baseball. You're going to be good too.
Like I
hey,
think
other kid, you're going to be good too. It's kind of a circle.
This one's going to be grounded over to the right field side for a base hit. And leadoff base runner finally for the Hartford Orioles, who look to try to kind of even this game up a little bit right now. It's going to take a minute for them to try to at least tie this game up, but good start to get the leadoff runner on. First hit of the night for Slater. And now Brady Walters comes up to bat.
Won't air here on Zaleski Sports, but another game coming up after this. Homestead plays Kettle Moraine here at the same diamond at WBC Park. So
I probably have to make that. Oh, I don't have to make the interview too fast.
No.
That's gonna be awkward if if Kettle Moraine or Homestead. Aren't you doing our game? Are you doing our game?
Yeah.
They probably haven't seen that we promoted any of that yet. Oconomowoc or Hartford didn't see it though either, right? But we're here.
We're here to stay.
Thankful for those of you guys tuning in today.
We're here to stay.
1-1 the count on Brady Walters. I actually gotta work a marathon tomorrow morning, so that'll be interesting. This one's gonna be grounded over the second baseman. Florida fielded over for a double play. Florida Seager over to Copper. It's a 4-6-3 double play.
Yeah, huge double play turned over there. 4-6-3. It's always one of those ones you want to get, but nice job by the pitcher, able to spin one to get one on the ground too.
And that is just what Coach Mancuso wants right there. Done an amazing job keeping this game at 0. And now the first pitch is taken low for a ball on the other Caden Bush. It's both spelled different ways though.
Yeah. That's
Caden.
That's what makes them different.
Caden Romans, Kaiden. Caden Bush, Kaidin. Instead of a E, it's an I for Bush. At the end of his name. Now Brady, you can't spell that any other way, right?
No.
I mean, that's the way you spell it. So 1-1 count on Bush, swing and a miss. Meyer gassed him up. Still, I mean, every time I look over at that pitch gun or the scoreboard with the miles per hour, he's still at 82 miles per hour. So that double play helped him a lot here. After that base hit. 1-2 pitch. Meyer delivers. Try to take low and try to get him with the breaking ball there. That one, the curve ball that time. Yeah, got some great games, like you were saying, next week on Zaleski Sports for us down here. Union Grove versus Lake Geneva Badger. Badger, a team that made it to state last year, right?
State runner-up, lost to Muskego.
Yeah. One's taken in for a strike. Colton Meyer delivers his first K of the day, the 6th time Hartford has been retired out via the K ball. He strikes out looking. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning right here on Zaleski Sports.
We're back with better halves. Jane is looking for a better health plan. Jane?
I need someone who'll make time for me. So, how would you two get to know me?
You want time? I'll keep you on hold all night long.
He sounds gross.
Jane, I'm Steve from security. I won't treat you like a number. I've got award-winning service and coverage made just for you.
Now that's better. Next up, networks.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Nasonville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's cheese, peach cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Fir, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflateri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
We've got a new pitcher on the mound. It's Ethan Ford for the Hartford Orioles. The righty. Going to see a little different action here. But that's the end of the line for the starting pitcher for Hartford, Hunter Weinferter. 3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 runs to the plate, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts for Weinferter. So Ethan Ford comes into this game. See if I can find any of his previous pitching appearances. Ford pitched, wasn't a great outing his last time out. Only pitched a third of an inning, gave up 4 hits, 3 earned runs. I believe one of his, a couple of big hits. All extra base hits the last time out for him against Grafton when they lost. So Ethan Ford looking for a cleanup performance today. As the top of the order comes back up, Danny Floor 0 for 2 on the day with a K and a ground out. Pretty comfortable lead so far for Oconomowoc.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, 5-0. Just got to protect it.
Helms, what a play at third base, making the pick over. It bounces over to first. Brady Helms showing why he's a Penn State commit. Talk about the reflexes on that play, Peck.
Yeah, I mean, he just went down and got that one. And the more impressive part of it is just getting up to his feet and throwing him out at first base.
I mean, that ball was at least 95 miles per hour. Maybe, I think that might have been even faster off the bat, right?
Yeah.
He came to that one quick, Brady Helms. So now Cooper Shafkin comes back up. This one popped up high in the air to right field. Brander trying to run for it, and it's out of play, slicing foul with the wind. If you guys are just joining us, the wind is blowing from west to east right now. Kind of slicing a couple balls out of play. Brady Helms would have had a home run if the wind wasn't like that today.
Yeah, he would have had a home run about an inning or two ago, but it just sliced a little bit foul to the right side.
Obviously, with the score now, that probably wouldn't have mattered that much right for the time being.
It might have changed momentum earlier, though, because I think at the time it would have been it would have been a 2-2 game if he would have hit that home run. It might have changed things a little bit different of how Oconomowoc's coach would have handled things.
One's taken low. Ethan Ford looking for a get-right performance after, like I said, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, and only a third of an inning pitched. All extra base hits in that outing.
Yes.
Given up. I think he's happy to know that he has a guy like Brady Helms behind his back in the infield to make outs. So,
absolutely. You know, he's got a pretty good defense around him. There were a couple mistakes early on, but I think overall it's a pretty solid defense of Hartford. It's just, once in a while you get those games where make a couple mistakes, but still 5-0 only. They're not that much out of it yet.
2-1 pitch is high or in there for a strike. I feel like there's going to be a day where, us as, where our company too elevates our obviously that's only if you get a whole big crew, but where you get the strike zone in the broadcast.
Yeah, you got to have multiple cameras for that.
Well, you got to have something like at the plate too, right?
You can never have a strike zone with our camera right now because we're off to the side.
I think for sure. I think one of these days, probably won't be for a while. Someone's taking low for a ball. We'll actually have a pitcher's challenge one of these days, but
wouldn't be surprised.
I think you probably have to have a scoreboard though, or some sort of technology for that though, right?
Yeah.
So that's not going to be for a long, long time still at this level of ball. College ball, it could happen though.
Oh, absolutely.
One's taken high for a ball in a 6-pitch walk to send Shafkin on base with 1 out gone by. One thing to note again, Ethan Ford didn't walk anybody his last time out Wednesday against Grafton. I believe, yeah. This is the last game of the week for Oconomowoc after their 3 straight games. Guess you could call it 4 straight games in this week, or 4, with their series with Grafton where they split the series 1-1 and then they lost or beat Menominee Falls yesterday. So 2-1 on the week so far.
What about Hartford? Are they done for the week too?
Well, that was Hartford. That what I was talking about. I might have said it wrong there again.
And Oconomowoc, the coach said they don't play tomorrow, so
they don't resume action again until Oak Creek on Monday. Not sure. You know if that's home or road for them? I could probably check.
It's home. It's here. I think it might be on Tuesday, actually.
Right.
Tuesday, Thursday.
On their game changer, it says they're at Oak Creek on Monday.
Oh.
And then they're at Oconomowoc on Tuesday.
That's an interesting schedule. Monday, Tuesday. It's usually Tuesday, Thursday.
Guess they want to get it done.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss by Jacob Kopfer. Count is 0-2 on him now. Hartford could definitely use like a double play or something right here to try to swing their momentum somewhat towards their side. Haven't had a scoreless inning since the first. This one's going to fall for a base hit. Shefkin over to third, and it's runners on the corners. First hit of the game for Jacob Kopfer. And the hit's starting to come through now for the Raccoons.
Yeah, nice little dump off hit to right field. Just finds another good spot to get that hit down.
Actually, no, we're still far ways away from that, but if Hartford can get 5 runs this inning, and we get to the top of the 5th and Hartford doesn't score, this game's over, right? Bottom of the 4th inning right now.
Yeah, you mean Oconomowoc.
Oh, Oconomowoc, yeah. Man, I'm all over the place tonight. I think it might be my allergies that I have. Spring allergies.
Those aren't real. Kidding.
I think I said that when I was reading the schedule. I think I might have accidentally said Oconomowoc while I was reading Hartford's schedule. Let's take it in for a strike. Only 5 games. Let's see what else Oconomowoc's got next week. I know the Monday and Tuesday at Oak Creek, and then they play Arrowhead next Thursday on the road. Kind of split up their series with Arrowhead this year.
Yeah, some of those series you notice they do that once in a while.
Throw to second base on the steal attempt, and it's no good. Jacob Kopfer, successful steal, a little late by Medla on the throw. It's second and third with 1 out now. A chance to make this 7-0 with a base hit from Colin O'Leary, who's 0 for 1 on the day.
And the infield, you notice the shortstop came in a little bit just in case. Said to him he has a play at home if they decide to send the runner home.
O'Leary lines this one over, and it's going to fall for a base hit. That'll score a run. Shafkin scores. They're going to send Coupler. The throw to the plate is not. Oh, it is in time.
Wow.
Oh, I think that was close.
Oh, that was closer than I thought it was.
Yeah, that was really close. What a relay right there. From Romans to Kiekler all the way to Medla to make the second out. That's a huge one. But a run scores on a base hit from Colin O'Leary on a base hit. I said it again there. 6 hits today for the Raccoons. First run given up for Ethan Ford, up to 12 pitches in the inning. Obviously, the home plate umpire has the best view on it.
Yes.
So, from our perspective, the bird's eye view of home plate, it looked like for a second that he might have even got the hand in there, but might have it's just as close as it gets, probably, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
That probably would have got him there. That gets out of the catcher's glove. Gonna hold O'Leary at first base. 6-0 our score. It's taken up high for a Strike. They must not be starting until around 7:30 then for that Kettle Moraine
7:30 was
game.
the start time.
Swing and a miss by Kaysen Nelson. Yeah, that game's not that game. If they score a lot in that game might not get over till around 10.
Yeah.
I think from what I remember though, we did a Kettle Moraine game a few years ago.
Yeah, it was.
And it was at 7:30 first pitch, right?
And it was against these Hartford Orioles.
Yeah. Got to interview Steve Oleshko. First time on our network getting Oconomowoc on for baseball. Had him on for both basketball 2 years ago. And that one's in for a strike. It'll be the end of the fourth inning. A first strikeout of the day for Ethan Ford. 1 run in there. Colin O'Leary with an RBI base hit. 6-0 Oconomowoc leads as we head into the fifth inning on Zaleski Sports.
Hey, you're tuned in to Better Halves.
Skip, I love my hometown, and I want a health plan that feels the same way. So, what are your favorite local date spots?
Oh, yeah, I know like all the date spots in Eclair.
Jane, I'm Steve from security. I've lived here in Wisconsin my whole life, and that means I understand your health coverage needs better.
By the way, Doug, it's Eau Claire. I have a dozen Eclairs in my dressing room.
At Ridgestop Exteriors, we're more than your average home improvement company. We're your neighbors, and for over 20 years, we've been trusted and proudly serving right here in your community. Customer service is our #1 goal. Call now for your free estimate.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
We're back here live on Zaleski Sports for the top of the fifth inning. The Oconomowoc Raccoons with a 6-0 lead on the Hartford Orioles. Late April baseball on Zaleski Sports alongside Matt Peck. I'm Elijah Vanksalata. Thank you guys for joining us here today. Feel free to continue to share this game with others. Oconomowoc fans, friends and family, or Hartford friends and family. We're here live and always for free on Zaleski Sports on the YouTube channel. Got any score updates for us around right here while we're at the top of the fifth?
Yeah, so Waukesha South and Arrowhead 9-2. Waukesha South and West Dallas Central 9-2. Waukesha South in the lead. Arrowhead up 6-2 on Wisconsin Lutheran. New Berlin Eisenhower 5-1 on Waterford. Franklin Racine Case 6-1. Oak Creek, Waukesha West 5-2 Oak Creek. And let's see here, 7-0 South Milwaukee over Milwaukee Reagan. Whitefish Bay up 10-1 on Kenosha St. Joseph. And Whitnall up 4-0 on Cudahy, and Muskego up 3-2 on Brookfield East.
It's a lot of good score updates right there. Thank you for that. Definitely going to keep an eye on that Arrowhead game, right?
Yes.
It's a really big one with Wisconsin Lutheran.
Right now, Arrowhead's up 6-2, so.
Count is 0-2 right now on the leadoff hitter Brandner. It's taken in there for a strike. Oh, they are pounding these strikeouts in right now for Oconomowoc. That's strikeout number 7 now for the whole team in general. Second for Colton Meyer. I think if Oconomowoc holds on with this one, I might have to interview Chase Doyle and Colton Meyer.
Yeah.
They can keep this up going. Their approach has just been great. They signal for a bunt right here as Easton Kiekler's up. Held this Hartford team to only 3 hits. You know, this Hartford team, they won a couple of these games against the good teams via their pitching.
Oh, I know.
They held Arrowhead only, what, 2 runs that one game?
Yeah, it was.
Held Arrowhead to 2. They held that pitching staff to Whitnall to 5-1 for a while. Those runs came early against Whitnall. Then they found their way back in that game to win 6-5 in a 5-run rally last Saturday at the PBR Showcase. Wow. This game is their second highest scoring game pitching wise for them.
Oh yeah.
You know it's a big deal with this team when they don't give up that many runs with Hartford.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know it's Hartford. Even against the Hudson team last week, they had electric offense. They didn't give up that many runs.
7-6 Hudson won that game. Two on Keekler is down in the dirt for a ball. We're at the part of that lineup right now. 7, 8, 9. Keekler at the 8th spot. 3-2 pitch. The crowd clapping for him. Down low for a ball. And a 1-out walk. And a base runner for Hartford. They still have their goose egg on the board, looking to finally try to score somewhere in here.
Start needing sunglasses up here, it seems like.
Yeah.
Sun's coming in that certain direction.
Might need to bring my sunglasses out from my car and have you call play-by-play and we share.
Yeah.
One's taking low for a ball. That one's going to get past the catcher, Nelson, and Easton Keekler advances to second. So the command kind of, after that strikeout, been a little bit of an issue so far for Colton Meyer. Don't think it'll rattle him too much as they have a 6-0 lead right now. But if you're Hartford, you always got to start somewhere. That one is just inside for a strike.
I believe they call that one a ball.
A ball?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I meant there.
Yes, I guess I did.
I am really all over the place today, am I? That one's a strike. No, I'm just kidding. That's a ball. Imagine.
Yeah, I think there been somebody yelling that was a strike.
The runner, Keekler, advances to third base. So 3-0, and now might need might need a step off right here, right? Because he's kind of lost his composure just a little bit. Walked that last batter, and now 3-0 on this one. And that one just hits the outside corner for a strike. Three and one on Medla, and it's down for a ball. So now runners on the corners for the Hartford Orioles, and it's been the first time in a while where they have a threatening chance to get some runs here.
So, Lulin, I think if you want to do it, you got to do it now because you got 2 runners on, 1 out. But the only problem is this is good for Oconomowoc, but the defense look for a double play potential.
Running at first base for Hartford, number 27, Andrew Carwell.
Now the pitching coach going to come out here. I don't think that's Vinny Mancuso.
No, it's not.
I'm going to talk right here probably exactly what we're thinking about, the composure issue. You're a former Pony League coach. What do you think? What's usually the message when you're giving up a lot of walks?
Shape up. No, I'm kidding. It's yeah, you just got to go out there and calm them down and say, hey, here's what you can do to get back on track. You know, have some of your players talk to them, but kind of give them a nice piece of advice, like, hey, maybe try throwing this pitch instead and, coordinating with your catchers more. But it's just mainly about, calm them down and give it an opportunity. You got about 30 seconds to do so. But it also gives you a chance to tell your defense where to go, too, because sometimes your defense, at this level, they probably won't forget. But if you're younger, tell them, hey, ball's hit on the ground. You're going to second. You're going to first here. Obviously, right here, there's a double play opportunity for second and first, and Oconomowoc's already turned one today.
So now Aiden Kolb, and this is just right. Probably the perfect time for a mound visit, right? Top of the order up with Aiden Kolb.
Yeah,
a base hit early on.
Kolb can get a huge hit here or even get on base via walk. You got Helms, the Penn State commit, coming up, and we've seen him hit one out of the ballpark today, just foul. So
Grand Slam would make it a 2-run game too, so that's huge if they could get him up. Kolb could try to get on base here, even if he could play to run here, right? Just keep the game going for them. One out gone by. Kiekler at third, Horwath at first. This one lined to center field, or right field. No, center field. That's got a good jump on it. And the Orioles are going to get their first run via a sac fly from Aiden Kolb. Kiekler scores. It's 6-1. Oconomowoc now. And they finally get the goose egg off the board 4 2/3 into this one. And if you're Oconomowoc, you'll take that, though.
Absolutely.
Trade a run for an out. Sack fly over to Basso. Basso didn't even think about it. He cut the throw off to second base. No need, right? So Brady Helms, the Penn State commit, takes one in there for a strike. At 69 miles per hour. One of the slower breaking balls. That's got to be intimidating, right? Having a fastball up there at 85 or whatever, or 84 was it? He maxed out at, and then having a curveball in the high 60s.
Yeah, it's definitely a different change of speed, but that's why they call them off speed. Got to be ready for those.
1-1 to Helms, and a time called by the home plate
umpire,
balk. What do you do? I mean, he just like kind of stepped through, right? They were like, what was that there? Horwath advances to second base.
Umpire showing him the motion. He kind of leaned his shoulder forward, and then he came back, and that's why the balk was called.
I'll make it clear that Horwath is pinch running for the catcher, Medla. And that's a good opportunity as that one's a ball upstairs. I think that's a good opportunity for like Medla to get his catching gear back on. And probably get some speedier guys in too. They could do that with both the pitcher and the catcher.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Only two positions where you can do that in the WIAA. I think this is the only level of the sport where you could do that though, right? Or like probably, obviously, travel ball, right?
Yeah.
You could probably do that too. Don't remember a time when college had that as a rule.
I don't believe so.
2 outs in the top of the fifth. 2-1 the count on Helms. It bounces. The runner's going to get to third. They might have a chance at that one, and not in time. Just got the leg in there on the slide for Horwath. And it's a pass ball. So Helms a 3-1 count. If he gets a really good pitch to hit, I'd take a rip at it.
%. And now that gets the runner 90 feet closer. Now it gives him a chance if Helms puts one on the ground, maybe a slow infield roller.
And another one down and inside, and probably the smart pitch right there from Colton Meyer. So now another 2-out walk and runners on the corners again for the 3-hole hitter, Caden Romans, who has a hit today. Colton Meyer up to 33 pitches on the night now. He's walked 3 guys now. And got to figure, I think all 3 of those walks came in this inning as well. This one popped up high in the air to left field.
A chance for them to get
shallow.
out of it.
And sliding and missing the play is Osborne. Kind of missed it in the sun, and 2 runs score. Horwath scores and Helms scores. Throw back to second. Romans gets there. That's going to be an error. But now Hartford's lead, or Oconomowoc's lead, has been cut in half to 3.
Yeah, that was.
They're going to signal that as an error too, right?
Yeah, well, he kind of came in on that one, just quite didn't see it, and then missed it. I think went off his glove. If it didn't go off his glove, then it's a base hit. But yeah, so now they get a runner on second as well too. So now another base hit could potentially put this as a 2-run game. But you think about it here,
Number 1, Jackson Slater.
Got ourselves a ball game here all of a sudden from Wisconsin Brewing Company Park.
It was popped up high, and you thought he'd get out of the inning there. So now
one's in there for a strike. Jackson Slater at the plate now. 1 for 2 on the day. Slater with the base hit his first time up. Looking to deliver another one here to try to cut through this lead even more. One's low. So that's scored as no RBIs in for Romans either, right?
Did they officially mark it an error?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, there'd be no RBIs in.
1-1 on Jackson Slater, and Meyer steps off the mound. One's in there for a strike. 1-2 now, and Oconomowoc a strike away from trying to get out of this 3-run jam after that error. Nobody getting loose in that Oconomowoc bullpen, so Vinny Mancuso going to rely on Colton Meyer. Throw to second base. Gets past him to center field. Romans is going to get to third.
Oh my
easily,
goodness.
And it gets past him again, and luckily the dugout was right there. Otherwise, Romans would have probably been able to score right there.
Lucky the throw wasn't a little bit higher, too, for Oconomowoc, because that gets in the dugout. It's an automatic.
Oh, wow.
It's an automatic because it goes out of play. So, yeah, now it's more interesting for Hartford because now you can get this runner, and it's a 2-run game.
Basso kind of airmailed it right there. Just past. I think he threw it a little too fast there, but, got to give the credit there to try to get it in time. You have to kind of do that kind of approach and throw it fast. So now 1-2. Romans at third. Takes high and away for a ball. 2-2. It's been a pretty long inning for the Hartford Orioles. Scoring 3 runs. First one off of a sacrifice fly, and the next one off of an error to left field. Base hit right here can make it a 2-run game. 1-2 delivery for Meyer. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Colton Meyer, and that's all they do. But the Hartford Orioles cut the lead in half. 6-3. We've got a ball game as we head to the bottom of the 5th on Zaleski Sports.
Coaches teach your kids to dream. Coaches teach your kids to overcome. Coaches teach your kids good sportsmanship. Coaches teach your kids proper technique. But who teaches your coaches?
Hey, Fleet Farm fans, you asked, we listened. You wanted lower prices? You got them. In-store, online. We drop prices everywhere. Lower prices on summer favorites like Liquid Pool Shock, Griller's Gold Barbecue Pellets, and Airhead Towables. Lower prices on big name pet care like Purina Tidy Cats. Lower prices on Valvoline motor oils. All because you said so. Look for the bright green price drop signs to find new lower prices on everything you need for everyday life. Only at Fleet Farm.
Back here for the start of the bottom of the 5th inning on Zaleski Sports, a 6-3 ball game in this WIAA baseball non-conference showdown between the Oconomowoc Raccoons of the Classic 8 and the Hartford Orioles of the North Shore Conference. Total of 9 hits so far through 4.5 innings. Tell you what, doesn't feel like it's really cooled down yet here, right? Kind of sticking around the same type of weather we've had. Clear. Sky's definitely cleared up. Sun's definitely in our eyes now, but
oh yeah, for sure.
Definitely a great game we've got going on here. Bottom of the 5th inning. Got an arm loosened up in the bullpen for Coach Mancuso. Oconomowoc's side. This one popped up in the air, foul right over the press box. Ooh, heard something break out there. Hopefully that's nobody's car. Just heard like a crashing sound when that ball came down. This is a pinch hitter at the plate, Ben Weber. Coming in to hit this one on a grounder to Helms. Oh man, another great snag and a throw over to first to Walters for another out. He's making bang plays at first today.
Yeah, it kind of came up on him. He got to raise that glove higher. Did exactly what he did right there. You had a gold glove third baseman in high school sports, he'd probably be considered one of them.
Number 7, Jack Pitt.
Weber was pinch hitting for the designated hitter of the game, Herzog. So Bennett Osborne comes back up to the plate with 2 hits. Single and a double for him. Just taken in there for a strike. Ethan Ford back out for a second inning of relief. This one going to fall down for a base hit. And they're going to be able to cut it off. He's going to be able to get the throw to second base. Pip is actually pinch hitting at the plate. He's in there for a 1-out double. So maybe this is the part of the game where Coach Mancuso's going to make me put the pen to the paper, right? Like he said pregame.
Yeah.
He's making a couple substitutions. Pinch hitting with his 2 first batters. Jack Pip coming in for the left fielder Osborne. His first hit. Now Jonathan Seeger up to bat. 2 at bats. Grounded out his first time out in a walk, his second time. A 1 pitch is low in the dirt.
Looks like he held there. Wanted to go after that one, but he held. Credit to Hartford so far for, battling back in this game, but Oconomowoc, they might need some insurance runs coming down the stretch to extend the lead a little bit more.
One's low again for another ball. That was a little bit of an issue, I should say, for Oconomowoc last inning of the command issues. Now Ethan Ford, his issue tonight so far, he hasn't been too bad for them. Only an inning if they're at 3 hits, 1 walk, 1 earned run. That one's followed the back screen. 1 K for him as well. 5 Ks on the day altogether for the Hartford Orioles, though, as a pitching staff. So now a full count to Jonathan Seeger. Delivers it. This one hit high in the air to right field. It's going to be playable by the right fielder. It's going to be caught. The runner, Pip, tags the third. Brandner makes the play in right field. So 2 outs gone by in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Nice play over there, able to stay inside. Oconomowoc, just to be safe, they probably want at least another run here. Hartford kind of got those 3 runs back last inning. Hartford has some momentum right now, so, get a run back, they can shift momentum a little bit.
Basso at the plate had an RBI their last time out. Ethan Ford looking to keep this a 6-3 game. Trying to head into the 6th inning with all the momentum like you were saying.
Definitely looking at another run here for Oconomowoc. Never too many.
Basso takes in there for inside strike. So 0-2 now with 2 outs gone by in the bottom of the 5th. See if Ethan Ford can get out of this with a 0. Their pitching staff hasn't had a 0 since that first inning. Here we go. 0-2 pitch is on the outside corner. Caught it for strike 3 in their first scoreless inning at a big time. In the bottom of the 5th inning, we are at a 6-3 ball game still as we head to the top of the 6th. Will Hartford try to tie or take the lead? You'll find out right after this on Zaleski Sports.
Looking for a place where everyone feels at home? Welcome to Point Brewery, your family-friendly tap room with something for everyone. From a wide variety of local brews to classic point sodas for the kids, we've got the perfect pour for everyone. Craving a bite? We've got hot, cheesy Portesi pizzas ready when you are. Whether you're hanging out inside or soaking up the sun in our outdoor beer garden, there's space to unwind. Planning a celebration? Reserve our private event room and make it a gathering to remember. Point Brewery, good times, great taste, all on tap.
Hey, Fleet Farm fans, you asked, we listened. You wanted lower prices? You got them. In-store, online. We drop prices everywhere. Lower prices on summer favorites like Liquid Pool Shock, Griller's Gold Barbecue Pellets, and Airhead Towables. Lower prices on big name pet care like Purina Tidy Cats. Lower prices on Valvoline motor oils. All because you said so. Look for the bright green price drop signs to find new lower prices on everything you need for everyday life. Only at Fleet Farm.
Steve Olesko, the head coach of Hartford, signaling that their team is starting to shift that momentum to their side. Kind of walking through that dugout, clapping, shaking hands with everybody, knowing that his team is still not out of this game. They got their insurance or their runs to cut it in half last inning via that base hit early on and then the error in the left fielder. But his team put themselves back in this ball game, and now he's talking to his first 2 hitters saying, you know what? Let's try to make this thing a game even more. 6-3 ball game. Oconomowoc leads at Hartford in the top of the 6th. Tell you what, if we were talking 1 inning ago, I would have thought Hartford was dead in the water in this game, but those few runs kind of put them right back in this one as the Homestead Highlanders are arriving in the game below your screen right now. Would be below where the scoreboard is. They will play Kettle Moraine at 7:30 p.m. That's probably going to change.
Yeah, I would say probably now going to change, yes.
So we head to the top of the 6th here. I suppose at the same time, not that far away.
No.
Hitting up for Hartford, first baseman number 15, Brady Walters.
So now another new pitcher in, Berkeley Erickson for the Oconomowoc Raccoons. This is their 3rd pitcher of the evening, another right-hander. This one's going to be lined to center field for a base hit for Brady Walters. So that'll do to start, right?
Yeah, now Hartford continues to get some big swings down the stretch here. They start off with 6th inning with a leadoff base hit, and now you got to look into if you're Oconomowoc, holding on to this 3-run lead.
I think we got a pinch hitter in here as well. Brandon Rodermacher into the game. He's going to hit for the designated hitter, Bush, Caden Bush. Rodermacher had a couple loud outs when I called the game last Saturday against Hudson. That one's in the dirt for a ball. Really good pick by Kaysen Nelson.
Yeah, so Hartford, look at this inning to Trying to get some guys on base, and right there.
Roddermacher lines that one to that same spot that Walters had it, and back-to-back base hits to start the top of the 6th inning, and all Steve Oleshko could do is just constantly clap his hands, which has been the motivator for this Hartford squad today.
Yeah, so they got 2 on now, no outs, and
tying run to the plate now.
Big swing away from potentially tying this game up.
So now Brandner coming up to the plate now, 0 for 2 on the day. Keep in mind, no outs too. So this Hartford team staying true to their approach.
So you could be a grounder away from a double play, or else you could be another hit and have this game 6-4, or a deep hit to 6-5 or 6-6.
It's taken in there for a strike. Just clipped the bottom of the zone.
It's a lot of big scenarios here.
Get even crazier here. You get a very fast grounder over to Shafkin at third. You could possibly turn 3.
That would be
in the craziest scenario. Oh, it hits him.
Oh, boy.
Bradner's on, and it's bases loaded with no outs, and here we go, Matt Peck. This Hartford team is not going to give up without a fight. Remember,
Oconomowoc's bullpen down there is active. Just keep in
they
mind.
Got double barrel action, right? It looks like.
Second baseman number 3.
That's a rule here too, right? You have to face at least 3 batters. Now he has, but we'll see what head coach Vinny Mancuso wants to do here. He's going to keep him in for the 8-hole hitter, Easton Kiekler. 0 for 1 in the day with a walk and a strikeout. Erickson running into trouble. That one is taken high for a ball. Where's infield playing in too, so.
Keep in mind, infield fly rule in play here as well. Ball's popped up in the infield, automatic out.
Oh, man, if he somehow hits a Grandy here, talk about a moment that would be. Kiekler takes outside again for a ball. 2-0 now.
Yeah, you gotta find the strike zone here. You don't want to walk in a runner here, because then everybody moves up 90 feet. Then the tying run is at 180 feet away. Right now he is 270 feet away. But if you walk him here.
One just hits the outside corner of the strike zone. 2-1 now. So about to say, Berkeley Erickson in the pressure cooker right now with all sacks lined up right here. Two 2-1 to Kiekler, fouls it off, just missed a chance right there, just a little bit tardy on it.
Yes.
2-2 now, the count. Hartford looking to make some noise. Tying run at first, the go-ahead run at the plate. Still no outs.
Big pitch coming up here.
Probably the biggest of the game, right? 2-2 is in there for a strike. Just clipped the top of the zone in a perfect pitch. Berkeley Erickson gets his first out in frustration for Easton Kiekler as he walks off to the dugout.
And now you're a ground ball away from getting out of this inning as well.
Now Medla coming up to the plate now, trying to get some more runs in here. One's outside for a ball. Nolan Medla. Or no, pardon me. Is that Medla at the plate?
Looks like it.
18? I thought I saw 40 for a sec. It's in there for a strike. Yeah, 40.
Yeah.
So I believe we got another pinch hitter here. But on Game Changer it still says Medla.
Probably updated, but
unless they must have not changed his number on Game Changer, because I think that is Medla at the plate still. That one almost hits him. 2-1 on Medla. What are you going to say about Oleshko?
Yeah, obviously now the thought's off. It's still Medla, but you're thinking he's probably going to his bench just in case late in this game.
Well, you got best case scenario right here for Hartford. If you could get him on here, you got the top of the order coming up with Aiden Kolb, who's already reached on. Had an RBI. 2-1. Big swing and a miss on the breaking ball. 73 miles per hour. Got him to chase. So 2-2 now. And if you're Hartford and Steve Oleshko, you got to get at least one of these runs in when you had no outs to start it off when bases loaded. So 2-2. Berkeley Erickson had a big strikeout his first time. As he takes a timeout. We'll see if he can get his second one here at a big moment for this Oconomowoc Raccoons team.
Yeah, could use a big out here. Obviously, like I mentioned, you're grounder away from getting out of this inning, but also a big hit that.
Yeah, it hits in there for a strike. Back-to-back Ks after they load the bases. Wow.
Yeah, just not the way for Hartford you want to go down here. Obviously, you still got another out to play with here, but you know you got bases loaded, no outs, and you get 2 back-to-back called strike threes. It's not an easy way to sit.
Berkeley Erickson trying to have it dialed in now. He's 1 out away, but he'll have to face one of the best contact hitters on this team, and Aiden Kolb, who's already got a hit in RBI today from 2 plate appearances. This one popped up high in the air. That'll most likely do it. The center fielder Basso on it, and they get out of the jam.
Wow.
Without anything. Bases loaded. No problem for Oconomowoc with no outs. They put up another 0 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. You're watching high school baseball on Zaleski Sports.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 180,000 participants here in Wisconsin who take part in high school sports.
From humble beginnings in 1904, the Wheatrick family has grown Grassland Dairy Products into one of the largest processors of butter in the nation. Based in Greenwood, Wisconsin, the family and its hundreds of employees continue their pursuit of providing high-quality products that can proudly be served in restaurants and homes across America.
Back here for the bottom of the 6th inning here. We're in crunch time. 6-3 Oconomowoc leads on Hartford. A bases loaded, no outs jam. No problem for the Oconomowoc Raccoons as Berkeley Erickson gave up 2 hits and a hit by pitch to open up the start of the top of the 6th. Got 2 backwards Ks and a fly out to center field to keep this game right where it is. And Matt Peck, Coach Mancuso's got to feel really good about that with 1 inning left with a 3-run lead.
Yeah, 100% confidence booster last inning. You know, you got your pitcher to go in there. 2 straight strike threes, called looking. And then you get the pop fly to center field to get out of it. So, you know, now you probably want to build a little bit of insurance here. I know you're up 3 runs, but still, Hartford's had some threatening innings so far towards the last couple of them.
And I think, you know, you were saying, right, like the last inning and a half that Hartford's had all the momentum. I think that them getting out of that jam swings all the momentum right back to Oconomowoc.
Yes.
That's a huge confidence booster for everybody in the team as well. Only going to need about 1 inning left to give. I'm sure Vinny Mancuso wants to get a couple runs here, though, to get some insurance, and that'll probably do it right there with the base hit to try to get it started for the leadoff hitter, Danny Floor, his first hit. At the top of the order right now, the number 1 hole hitter. Oconomowoc up to 8 hits on the day now. Now Cooper Shafkin back up 1 hit, 2 at bats, 1 walk, and he scored 2 of the 6 runs.
If you're Hartford here, you could use a ground ball. Limit the damage. And obviously there's still no outs. Got the leadoff runner on.
He's in there for a strike on Shafkin. Hartford, Steve Oleshko continue to roll out with Ethan Ford. No action in the bullpen. Ford up to 33 pitches. Shafkin 1 for 2 on the day, like I said, with the walk. No Ks. Oh, how about that? The pitching staff for Oconomowoc's recorded 10 strikeouts on the day.
Wow.
Great day at the office for their pitching staff. You know, if they didn't give up that error, they would have only given up 1 run today so far.
No,
So far, yep.
That error for them was a killer, but, you know, finds them in a better spot now.
I think that Berkeley Erickson getting out of that jam just gave that whole team a confidence booster to try to finish the deal here.
Yes.
I think once fouled out of play. I think I've called Coach Mancuso Vinny the whole game. It's Victor.
Yes.
Victor Mancuso or Vince Mancuster. Oh my gosh, Vince Mancuso. You said yeah, so I agreed with you at first. Then I had to double take it again. Vince Mancuso, the head coach. We had the privilege of talking with both these amazing coaches pregame. Still kind of crazy. They're late April right now, and they've only played 5 games up to this point.
I know.
But like you said, right?
A lot of rainouts this time of year.
They're probably one of the few teams. They're probably one of the few teams, like I said, in the state that have only played that many games, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
But they are making up a lot of them. If we're hearing that, he's saying that Coach Mancuso is saying that they're going to make up a lot of those, right? Or they're playing a lot of 5-game sets in the week. Going to be a lot more work for him and his team to kind of get the groove going and get the whole season in full swing. Is there like a game limit in high school baseball compared to basketball?
There is, yeah. I forget what it is. Probably like 24, 25 around there. For regular season, obviously.
Basketball for WIAA is 24, right?
Yes.
Around.
Well, a lot of teams in basketball have gone 30-0, so I'm trying to think. So you play
playoffs, I guess you could play a factor too.
24 games is the limit.
Wisconsin Lutheran 30-0.
Yes.
And it's taken downstairs for a ball. Did they ever count? So they did count those games out of state when they won that tournament all for that too, or?
Oh yeah.
So like, what makes me wonder?
Wasn't a scrimmage.
So it makes me wonder then. They play that many games no matter what, even if they lost the game in that tournament. Let's say they lost the first round.
Then they just add a couple games back home. That's what they do.
Runner goes. No throw, as that one's called for a strike 3. And a backwards K for Ford as he gets Shafkin looking. And now Kopfer comes up to bat now.
First baseman number 18, Jacob
Kopfer, pardon me. Was taken high and in there for a strike. 40 pitches now for Ethan Ford. I feel like, you know, Hartford, their bullpen's probably been used a lot the last couple of days. So if Ethan Ford can keep this where it is for Steve Oleshko's squad, he'll definitely take that.
Absolutely.
That one's going to fall in.
Oh.
And playable. And a double play at second base. Romans makes the play at center field. And gets Floor out at second base. I think he might have thought that was going to fall, right? So
yeah,
a double play. They're going to call that is that an 8-5 double play then, or 8-6 double play?
Yes.
So what a big double play right there for Hartford to get out the inning. We head to the top of the 7th. Does Oconomowoc or Hartford have a last-minute run in them? You'll find out after this on Zaleski Sports.
My grandparents worked so hard their whole life to keep things nice. You want to make sure that you're getting the job done correctly. At no point did I feel like I wasn't being handled by professionals. They were literally taking it on a surgical level, it seemed. Like they were very, very thorough on every step. I feel like Infinity treated my family with the same respect they would have treated their own. I feel like my house is brand new again.
Hey, Fleet Farm fans, you asked, we listened. You wanted lower prices? You got them. In-store, online. We drop prices everywhere. Lower prices on summer favorites like Liquid Pool Shock, Griller's Gold Barbecue Pellets, and Airhead Towables. Lower prices on big-name pet care like Purina Tidy Cats. Lower prices on Valvoline motor oils. All because you said so. Look for the bright green price drop signs to find new lower prices on everything you need for everyday life. Only at Fleet Farm.
We are in the final stretch right here on Zaleski Sports alongside Matt Peck. I'm Elijah Vanksalata. We are glad you guys have stuck with us all game long. 6-3 ball game. Oconomowoc leads on Hartford. Last chance coming up for the Orioles. So I believe we got a new pitcher in here as well for the Raccoons. Oh no, they're going to stick with Berkeley Erickson. Loaded the bases last inning and struck out two guys looking, and a pop out to center field to get out the inning without giving anything up. It looked like a very promising inning for Steve Oleshko's squad. Instead, they get a goose egg in the top of that 6th inning with their last chance coming up here. And this is probably the top of the order that they really want, starting off with the Penn State commit, Brady Helms.
Yeah, definitely a guy you want out there to start.
And this one's going to be grounded over to the shortstop, over to first base for out number 1. A 5-3 ground out. Making the play that time is Seeger over to the first baseman, Kopfer, for out number 1.
Yeah, so 1 pitch, 1 out for this Oconomowoc defense right here. They want it quick and easy, but, you know, Hartford, where the stress really starts coming in is that they get base runners on, you know.
It's taken low.
So, you know, you can kind of pitch around here a little bit, like, you know, throw a little bit better pitches, because it's not like one of those situations where if you give him a meatball and he hits it out, it's a tie game where you're playing with a 1-run lead. You still got 3 runs to play with here, but you don't want it to let it get too interesting here, so you don't want to get too many guys on if you're Oconomowoc. Are the biggest killers in these late innings is always walks.
Yeah. This one's grounded foul over by Caden Romans, 1 for 3 on the day.
You know, 2 strikes here, 1 out in the 7th. I'd go after him.
Had to double his first time out.
Yeah, he had that early double early on, the first hit of the game by either team. He hit that one in the right center gap in the first inning.
Seems like that was a long while ago already.
Yeah, we're approaching 2.5 hours.
1-2 pitch is low for a ball. Almost stayed in the dirt.
Yeah, Hartford got an interesting conference this year. Always got a good teams up there, but Slinger really the impressive one early on to me. Hartford lost their first game to Slinger since 2019, just a week ago. So
1-2 pitch is grounder to second baseman. Bobbled it, trying to flip it over to first, and not in time. Just didn't bobble it. If he didn't bobble that, that's probably an easy play. But Floor, after he bobbled it too, it rolled, right? So
yeah, so
he had to kind of regather himself, and it was a little too late for the speedy Caden Romans to flip it over to Kopfer.
Yeah, not a tough play, but you know it comes off the glove a little bit. And sometimes you got to teach yourself, got to stay with it always, and stay with it, but just a little bit too late that time. And you know, for Oconomowoc's sake, they're hoping on defense here that doesn't cost them. But now Oconomowoc's looking for a ground ball to end the game right here. And Hartford looking to extend it here, with either a hit or a walk, however they can get somebody on base.
Have a pinch hitter right here as the first pitch taken in for a strike. It's the one of the big catchers for this team that got an off day, Jack Mazer. He's coming in to pinch hit for the left fielder. No, not left fielder. Yeah, I think he is pinch hitting for the left fielder, Slater here. Runner goes to second base. No throw by Nelson. Probably a smart play. Romans with his speed easy on. I think because they have 1 out already. Now you can pretty much eliminate the double play. Unless you get a quick liner or something here.
We saw a double play by Hartford. And the inning line to center field and got the out at second.
0-2 on Mazer. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball. Gets him swinging in the 3rd K for Berkeley Erickson, their 11th as a team. 11 out of the 11 out of the 20 outs have been strikeouts so far for this team.
Yeah, I would say right here.
I think if Oconomowoc wins, we'll get Chase Doyle for the Highlight House Player of the Game to speak on behalf of the team.
He's gonna
pitching staff, but this is not over just yet. One's taken in for a strike for Brady Walters.
I would not be surprised he steals third here, but I wouldn't throw it down because that run, you got to worry about the guy at the plate right now. So if it steals third, I would expect to see a defensive indifference here. Nobody probably really paying attention to that because you're just worried about getting the batter right now. Surprised they're even looking at him, to be honest. 2 outs. I could see. You're up 3 runs. Just worry about getting the guy at the plate. Because before you know it, he steals third. You throw down a third, gets in the outfield. It's a 2-run game, and then they get a base hit. Then you really got to start looking into things. So I would just worry about the batter.
1-1 taken outside on Brady Walters. 1 for 2 on the day. Kind of in that middle of the lineup. He had a walk as well early on. Just the base hit early on in this one. 1-1 the count. It's outside for a ball. I believe they'll have Rademacher come up. Pinched hit last inning as the designated hitter, staying as the DH. 2-1 pitch. Erickson up to 29 pitches. Looking to get Oconomowoc their 4th win of the year as he steps off the mound.
Some fan didn't like him stepping off the mound, you can hear.
Come on! I heard, come on.
So 2 balls, 1 strike ended up being here.
Yeah, this Oconomowoc team has had a lot of good fair share wins. 2-1 pitch is high. I think their biggest win of the year so far is when they beat McWanago.
Yeah,
5-3.
Like I said, though, you see a lot of those turnarounds in conference, though, where, you beat them the first game, the second. Sometimes, especially if 2 decent teams going at the second team usually wins. Second time the other team wins around.
3-1. This one hit high in the air and playable to center field. Basso makes the catch, and Oconomowoc wins and advanced to 4-2 on a 6-3 win over the Hartford Orioles. They're back to 3 wins in a row now for the Raccoons, and now you can say goodnight to this one, and we'll head to the Nasonville Dairy postgame show where I will come back and interview head coach Vince Mancuso and our Zaleski Sports Highlight House player of the game, Chase Doyle, right after this on Zaleski Sports.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Nasonville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. Nasonville Dairy actually goes back to 1885. We are the oldest plant in Wood County. When our father brought us here in the early 1960s, we ran 7,500 pounds of milk a day. We now run 1.8 million pounds of milk a day. We buy dairy milk from 200 dairy farmers here in central Wisconsin, produce it, and ship it all over the world. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Fury, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Keflatiri, Kefla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. This has allowed us to go to a lot of different countries. Our furthest accounts are now in China, Japan, Canada, Saudi Arabia. We do ship to Mexico, as well as a number of other places throughout the world. This is what we call Cheese Making 101. We tried to walk you through the cheese plant today, and we're in hopes that you see our people, what they're doing, and the amount of work that goes into producing the products that we hope you enjoy. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's cheese, peach cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Fure, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflateri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
Right at the camera up there. We're back here for our Nasonville Dairy post-game show. Fresh cheese curds made daily at NasonvilleDairy.com. We're joined right now by our Zaleski Sports Highlight House player of the game, Chase Doyle. Chase, I mean, you and your pitching staff today kind of shoved a little bit today. 11 Ks out of the 21 outs. Just talk about the way you guys were able to battle through everything today. I know, like last inning, you guys had Berkeley kind of get through that jam and that bases loaded, and then he was able to strike out 2 looking, and then kind of took it from there, and you guys just kind of set the tone with the momentum. Just talk about the way you guys were able to execute on that.
It all starts with practice. We really focus on getting ahead in the count, first pitch strike. When you get the first pitch strike, it makes everything a lot easier. And just working from there, just working hard. When Berkeley had bases loaded, nobody out, he worked really hard to get out of there, didn't allow anything. I mean, it's just about bearing down, working hard, throwing strikes.
All right, for our Zaleski Sports Highlight House player of the game, we give you the microphone here, and then you're going to look up at that camera up there, and then you're going to say your full name and I'm in the house.
I'm Chase Doyle, and I'm in the house.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Yeah.
That'll do it for us here at Zaleski Sports Milwaukee here. 6-3 Oconomowoc defeats Hartford. Chase Doyle, one of the leaders of the pitching staff here. They advanced to 4-2 on the year. Hartford falls to 6-5 on the season. Our next broadcast won't be until about next Friday when we're at Union Grove against the Lake Geneva Badger. But this was a really good non-conference game between these two really tough squads. So we'll be back next week at Union Grove. This one's been fun. 6-3 one more time. The Oconomowoc Raccoons defeat the Hartford Orioles right here on Zaleski Sports. I'm alongside Matt Peck. I'm Elijah Venxalata signing off.